activities will be taking place. You, of course, can call in during the parade. As we continue schmoozing with each other, we're now passing somebody that's selling pickles and playing the bongos. Unbelievable for $1. People will part with money for anything these days. It's incredible. Dave, what's the phone situation?
Okay, Bob, we have a person on the mobile call from Pinellas.
Okay, mobile, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, Bob?
Yeah.
I got to ask you something on a serious note I've been curious about a long time. The day Dick Lassiter untimely left us, did you know when you took his program over that he had been killed?
I beg your pardon? When what?
The day that Bob Lassiter was killed in the accident.
I think you mean Dick
Not Bob
Norman.
Lassiter, I'm sorry, Dick Norman. Did you know that he had been killed when you took his program over that day?
At 3 o'clock, no, I didn't find out till about 3:15 or 3:20.
Well,
I had just been told that he was late.
I disagree with you 100% on all your business theories. Union, you're for union, you're anti-business, period. But that day you did a fine job, and I respect you in a lot of areas. And
well, okay, I thank you very much.
well, that's not very much. There's not much compliments on you. You know, you're very, very rude, and you're hard on private business,
Well,
private
thank
sector.
you. Thank you.
But other than that, you're a pretty good entertainer.
Okay, take care. Hard on the private sector. Unbelievable. 990-9352. 461-9352. There's the wood fairy up in the tree there. Dave, the phone situation?
Yes, a call from Tampa.
Tampa, hi, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yes, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? This is Danny.
Oh, great, Danny.
Hey, how's the festival? How's the parade? Everybody loves the parade, Bob.
Parade's just going along fantastically well. There's a woman holding up an orange umbrella.
An orange umbrella?
There's a guy in a blue jacket, weighs about 215 pounds. He's trying to hide behind one of those 4-inch trees. Doesn't make it. Doesn't make it.
Yes, I'm over here with my dog. We're watching the ball game here.
Rather interesting. We're actually passing the elephant ride and the camel ride as you called in, Danny.
Really?
Really, and I wouldn't lie about that.
Well, Bob, I went to see you at the NCMB Bank the other day, and I saw you there, and I talked to your lovely Mary.
Uh-huh.
And couldn't stay long, but, told her hello, and I saw you interviewing people, and had to go catch Webb. And we're thinking about, remember when Abby had the chant in and they levitated the White House for a while?
Uh-huh.
We're thinking of maybe getting a chant in and levitating WFLA for a little bit.
I have no problem with that, Danny.
No problem at all, sir?
None whatsoever.
Bob, I'll tell you, everybody loves the parade, and I believe that the Phillies are for real this year, sir.
Yeah, the facilities are for real?
The Phillies, sir.
Oh, the Phillies. Hey.
What do you think, sir?
They're saying hi, Bob. It could be, Danny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Check with me around about the end of September.
When the end of September?
Right.
Listen, you having a good time out there?
Oh, yeah. Sure. As long as my pants don't fall down.
Listen, you have a great day, man.
Okay, Dan.
Take care, Bob.
Take care. There he goes, Danny the Mariner. 990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas as the parade continues. Of course, you guys don't know that. You just have to take my word for it. The phones, Dave?
Nothing for now, Bob.
Nothing for now. Again, what in the hell is the matter with these people? Unbelievable. Get off your duff. It's an open schmooze on a Saturday. There's nothing in particular that should prevent you from taking part in the program or the parade. The parade is, of course, fantastic. Some people, a polka dot umbrella, that was a little bizarre. Well, we're coming up on the apple dumpling stand. What was that, Muffy?
Sure smells good around here.
Muffy says it smells good around here. 990-9352, 461-9352. Whoops, somebody dropped his pouch. Looks like a substantial pouch there. I mean, it could even be the king's pouch. Whoa, what a lot in there. Okay. Dave?
Yeah, Bob, we have another call come in from St. Pete and one from Pinellas Park.
I thought it would work. St. Petersburg, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, I called you once before. What about those pantyhose? Are you going to give those suckers away or not?
Well, I don't think to you, sir. You seem to be a little bit too interested.
Oh, come on, Bob. Now, matter of fact, this marks my first anniversary of listening to you. That was the very first show I ever listened to. You People had to call in and beg for those suckers, and you made me laugh all day. Now it's my turn. I want them.
Well, sir,
They're mine, Bob. My name's marked on
It's
them.
not quite that easy, sir. I haven't even decided how to give them away, if I give them away.
Well, now you do recall last year, don't you?
Well, sir, I'm not that feeble-minded, yes.
Well, all right.
A vague recollection of last year, yes.
Hey, is it fun out there? Would it be worth my while to drive out?
I firmly and totally and completely believe it would be. This is an extraordinary event. Okay? I'm not the greatest Tampa Bay booster. I'm the guy that, always accuses Tampa Bay of being rather mediocre and afraid to succeed. The Renaissance Fair does not fit in that category.
It's fun.
It is really fun. It's well worthwhile coming out to see.
Is there more than 10 people out there?
Oh, the place is jammed.
Oh, now come on.
No, it is.
Is there some good-looking women?
Lots of good-looking women.
Are they easy?
Are they easy? I don't know. I'm here with my wife, sir.
Well, I know Mary's not. Mary's a lady. But are there any of them out there that would be kind of loose and, kind of fun to be with this afternoon?
I think so, yeah.
Bob, now,
there's
those pantyhose, I want to talk to you about them later on next week.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey, that's it, Bob. There's no big finish. I just want those pantyhose.
Okay, well, we will discuss it with you next week.
Have a good day, Bob.
Okay, take care there. Back? Okay. The parade's more or less over. I have now moved to the stage here. The king is attempting the stage. Pinellas Park, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Pinellas.
Are you farting in them shorts?
No, I hadn't planned on it.
Huh?
I hadn't planned on it.
Say I'd like them, but if you're farting in them, I don't want them.
Well, what we did last year is we gave people an opportunity to ask them clean or unclean, and Greg, of course, I think would probably like them unclean so that he could sniff them. What else do we have there?
Okay, we have Tampa.
Tampa, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, I'm the happiest person in the world.
The happiest person in the world, why?
Hey, I got tickets to your show on Friday.
Oh, all right.
I am happy.
Oh, well, so you could be a lot happier if you brought a lot of tasty cakes and cold milk.
Now, wait a minute. See, my wife sent the letter in.
Yeah.
And she said that she's going to bake you a chocolate dessert now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember
What type of... You remember that letter?
Yes,
See, my birthday's coming up. That's why she got me these tickets. And I'm glad you sent them. I would have paid $100 a piece for them, but you gave them to us for free.
Oh, gee, there was a price increase last week. Didn't we bother to mention that? Yeah, 100 bills.
No. What kind of chocolate dessert did you want?
Something chocolate.
Anything?
Yeah.
You don't care what it is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, real easy to get along with.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know. Have fun today.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right, see you Friday.
Okay, 990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas. King appears to be getting very agitated about something. I'm not clearly sure what it is. Could be his shoes. Oh, the winches are singing. Interesting. What's the phone situation, Dave?
Okay, we have a call from St. Pete.
Hi there, St. Petersburg. You're on there at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, I think you're a liar.
You think I'm what?
You're a liar.
I'm a liar about
Because
what?
a couple of weeks ago, there was another station that was at a parade, and you said your station wouldn't stoop to go into a parade because how can you announce a parade? And here, that's what you're doing. So.
No, ma'am, I'm doing my regular show.
Oh, you're just the biggest liar there ever was.
No, I'm not the biggest liar
there ever was. All you do is make fun of people and everything else. You're stupid.
Just usually elderly women who drink a lot of mulberry wine and try to call up and stop me, that's all. What's next, Dave?
That's it for now.
That's it for now? What do you mean that's it for now?
No calls right now, Bob.
Unbelievable. Here we go again. 990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas are the numbers to talk with me, the magnificent Lassiter, on a Saturday afternoon for the first time in probably just about a year. It could be even slightly over a year. Yes, there were a number of taped programs, to be sure, ones that we didn't want on the air. But in terms of an opportunity to speak with me live, and this really is live. This is not on tape. This is absolutely, positively live. This is your big chance. Now, how did that work, Dave?
Bob, it didn't work that time.
Didn't work at all that time.
Didn't work at all.
Okay.
Maybe try it again or something.
All right, this is the story in essence. If you people do not fill the board, I will come back to the station and castrate young Dave.
Now wait a second. Just a minute. You all, please call in.
We will hold him down and remove his madness and put it in a jar of pickle juice, which we shall keep on the console.
That's right. Those numbers are 990-9352 from Tampa. Please call. Call now.
And 461-9352 in Pinellas. Now, that's the story. If you don't want young Dave castrated, then you and I have about 25, 30 minutes to fill here at the Renaissance Festival. How's that working, Dave?
It's not working yet, Bob, but I have faith here that someone's going to call any minute now.
Okay. We will be starting to sharpen the dull stick out here a little bit.
Feel free to go to a commercial break if you'd like.
Well, okay.
Clinic that you went to.
Why's that? How's that?
Because I'm 47 years old and I don't smoke anymore.
Fantastic.
And I smoked probably since 14, and I don't know how many packs I smoke a week, but I'm never out of cigarettes, you know. Never was out of cigarettes.
And how long's it been now?
About 3 days.
Okay, you'll do it.
I'm sure I will. Kind of nervous, but I'll do it, right?
I think so.
Okay.
If you're really serious, you can pull it off.
I'm serious. It's time to. You're going down the other side of the mountain. It's time to quit doing all the things you used to do.
Oh, tell me about it. Hey, I'm not trying to give you a hard time here because I'm heading that way too, but you're 7 years past heading down the mountain.
Oh, is that right? 40 you go over.
I think so. Didn't you find it that way?
Well, gosh, I hope not. I hope things get better now.
Well, in many ways they do, in many ways they don't.
Yeah, but when you get your kids gone or grown up and gone, and then you can share your things with your wife, you know, you've done all your work, and you can sit back and relax. It's time to start taking care of yourself.
Okay. Well, hey, good luck with it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas. What's next?
Okay, one from Bradenton.
Bradenton, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Oh, hey, just as well as a man can do who, is wearing a silly costume out in public with people pointing at him and taking his picture and kind of snickering, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's exactly why I called you. I got to compliment you, Bob. It's one thing to sit in the studio, do your kind of show, do your kind of program day after day, but to strap on a pair of tights like that, bring it on the road, what can I say? My hat's off to you.
Well, but, it's not the only thing that's off. I could live with a hat off.
Yeah. One question I do have for you. Are the hamburgers at Howard's as good as you say they are?
Are they as good as I say they are? Well, they're better. You see, the thing is, they are immense. These are half-pound hamburgers.
Huge portion.
If you do not like hamburgers, do not order the hamburgers.
No, I love hamburgers. That's why I want to drive an hour from Bradenton to get one if they're that good.
Well, it's a matter of not loving hamburgers. A lot of people love hamburgers. Man, I'm telling you, you got to love hamburgers.
Bob, I do, and I'm going to try them. And
okay.
Once again, my hat's off to you. Just watch out for the box.
Yeah, the hat I don't need, sir, but if you could spare a large pair of pants.
Not today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas. An open schmooze on a Saturday. What's next?
Call from Tampa, Bob.
Tampa, hi. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Oh, are you still out there fumbling with your remote?
Fumbling with my remote? My remote is not what I've been fumbling with. It's my shorts that I've been fumbling with.
That rather obscene sentence a little while ago. I was going to suggest that you threaten the audience with listening to all the old-tired voices, people that have maybe called talk stations 100, 200, 300 times. That'll get the phones ringing.
Well, yeah, except it would be those very people that you're talking about saying, do it, do it, do it.
Or a 3-hour soliloquy on the meaning of life in Swahili delivered by Peggy. That would really top it.
Well, except that you would be on the phone saying, do it, do it, do it.
Well, let's see. No, I wouldn't. No, I have enough dignity. Dignity?
I don't know. Is Lionel here? No, he's not here. We can't clear that word.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll say dignity left to wait until I am asked and favorably received. That'll be the day.
Asked and favorably received by who?
By whom? By whom?
Or
please?
whom, as the case may be.
Yes. By the audience now. If they would like to hear a 3-hour soliloquy in Swahili on the meaning of life, they should start not calling in now. If they, see, that'll light the board. Is the board lighting, David?
The board is lighting.
See, I told you it would work.
Well, of course, now he's had time to call all of his relatives.
Happy fiddling with your remote, and I think that's disgusting.
Well, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. What's next, Dave?
Okay, Bob, we have Port Richey.
Port Richey. Hi there, Port. You're on the air at 970 WFLA, home of the Stars.
Hi, Bob. We're going to do away with social amenities. I've got two things I want to address this afternoon. One of them semi-humorous, the other one serious.
Yeah.
The semi-humorous one is, I finally went to Cal's Cove. I like the
semi-humorous?
It's one, no, it's real, no, let me tell you the humor in it. I couldn't find the place.
What, 13155 Gulf Boulevard, Madeira Beach?
You never tell anybody how to get there, especially if we're coming down from way up here in Port Richey.
Well, you would get on Gulf Boulevard and head south.
Yeah, well, stupid people don't know where the hell Gulf Boulevard is.
Oh, come on. Port Richey people are a little dense. I appreciate that, but Gulf Boulevard, it's right along Gulf Boulevard.
Okay, I found it. No problem. Now let's get to something serious. I came across...
Now, wait a second. You wouldn't expect to find Gulf Boulevard, coming out of Safety Harbor and, kind of snaking along Tampa Bay now, would you?
We have a Gulf Boulevard.
Bay Boulevard.
We have a Gulf Boulevard in Port Richey, Bob.
Well, like I said, the people in Port Richey are a little bit dense, and of course they'd have a Gulf Boulevard when they're not anywhere near the Gulf.
That's right.
But other communities, hell, even Pinellas Park, you could count on not to have a Gulf Boulevard.
Yeah, but Pinellas Park, those people, they don't even read the encyclopedia.
Well, but they do read the White Knight.
True. All right, now let's get to something serious. I came across something rather interesting this week that I thought you might want to sink your teeth into.
Yeah?
How much do you know about Medicare and Medicaid, Bob?
Enough to stay away from it.
Okay, good point. Now, currently, if you, God forbid, and this is not a wish, if you had a heart attack or a stroke, and you went to a hospital, and
I would have a stroke if I talked much about Medicare and Medicaid.
You were admitted to have rehabilitation. Okay. If you reached a plateau, at which point the occupational therapist and the physical therapist believed that you were as far as they could take you, they turned in a no advance report to Medicare or Medicaid. You are immediately dropped from Medicare or Medicaid, and whether or not you had any further rehabilitation potential is immaterial. Medicare or Medicaid drops you. Huh?
He's deteriorating here.
Who's deteriorating?
The phone line, sir. It's deteriorating.
Oh. Sorry about that, Bob. But I thought maybe it might interest you as something you might want to look into.
Sorry, sir. Sir, could you call back later?
We'll do it, Bob. Bye.
What do we have next, Dave?
Okay, we have St. Pete coming up.
Hi, St. Petersburg. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, Bob. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
How is the festival?
Oh, the festival's fantastic.
Have
you ever
I wish I could go out there and see you. But I'm happy just enough to talk to you on the phone. Since you're new time, I'm not able to listen to you as much as I should. Ever since you went to New Orleans, I've been wanting to call you about that extremely expensive Brennan's breakfast.
Oh!
Now, you said for two it was $104?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Did you go to Quarter Two Sisters?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Really? Okay. I lived there for 2 years, and Quarter Two Sisters is wonderful. So if you ever get a chance to go back to New Orleans, it's open 24 hours. So you're wandering around the quarter, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can go eat. And they have a buffet brunch that has all sorts of incredible food, and 3 people were there for well under $100.
Well, I think you could go almost any place for well under $100.
No, I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful stuff.
Well, Brennan's was something that I would definitely want to do if I hadn't done it before. I was just stunned.
Yeah.
That 2 people could spend so much money for breakfast, and actually we could have spent a lot more had we gotten the wine that they suggested for the breakfast. And, it could have been a $150 meal, easy.
All right. According to the people who live there, Brennan's is overrated, according to the folks who were there. But,
well, it sure as hell is overpriced. I don't know that I've ever had better food. I don't know that I've ever had a better breakfast.
Yeah.
But, you know, hell, we're still talking about a couple of eggs, a couple of biscuits, some bananas and ice cream, and an apple and some whipped cream, and that was it.
Oh, boy.
You know, it was prepared to perfection, but obviously they just pulled numbers out of the air, arbitrarily zapped them on these things, and there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of us that were only too happy to pay for it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you must have had, like, reservations, you know, back to God to go there, huh?
Yeah, real reservations this time.
Yeah. One other thing, I went to Grand Prix Car Wash.
All right.
And
I hope you were happy.
I was very happy.
Well,
I was really happy when I...
If you ever go there and you're not happy, let them know about it.
I will. But I was happy when I left. I didn't know how happy I'd be. Today it rained quite a bit, as you know.
Well, they got a rain check, you know.
It rained, and as the water hit the windshield, it beat it and fell away by the windshield wipers. Now, normally, when the deluges here in Florida, I can't see through the windshield. And I'm not used to these Florida deluges. Oh,
they do take a lot. Actually, the only thing you can do is to pull over to the side of the road and stop. That's when you know you're used to them.
Yeah. But the water just flew right off, and it's because of, I guess it's a special wax they use. Which At Grand Prix.
Yeah, which service did you get? There's the first class and the super and the supreme. And
I think I got the super.
Okay.
And you
got 3 different kinds of waxes.
Yeah, it was really nice. So just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
and take care. Do you know if you'll be appearing live anywhere else?
Yeah, we've got several things coming up in the next month or so. I don't know where yet. I only know concepts. But I want to do, for example, or we will be doing a show on gun control and automatic weapons in front of a gun store.
Oh, good.
We'll be doing a show on abortion in front of one of those so-called pregnancy testing centers.
Right.
Those kinds of things we'll be doing about once every week and a half in the future.
Okay.
Okay?
Love to see you there or possibly catch you in the studio. I'll right away for tickets again.
Okay.
Okay. I wish I could see you in those tights, Bob. I better get on.
Now, play your cards right. Maybe we will put out photographs. Who knows?
Oh, good. Bye-bye. Take it easy.
Take care. Bye-bye. Dave, is Latrell ready?
Yes, Latrell's ready, Bob.
Okay, to Latrell Cabasa we go for a double half left for you. If you have not had the opportunity to come out to the Renaissance Festival of Largo this year or any year, do not put it off, because otherwise it's going to be another entire year. Today, tomorrow, the last 2 days. It is extraordinary. It is something that you won't forget unless you've been to a Renaissance fair someplace else in the country, because they do hold them all over. This is our shot. Not another shot until next March and April. What's the story on the phones, Dave?
Call from St. Pete coming in now.
St. Petersburg. Hi, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello?
Hi.
This is my first time calling, and I heard the person before you talk about the pantyhose.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about the pantyhose.
What would you like to know about them? First of all, is your father there?
Who has pantyhose on?
Is your father there?
Yes.
Well, then I think maybe you better discuss pantyhose with your dad. What else do we have on the board there, Dave?
Okay, we have another call from West Tampa.
Hi there, West Tampa. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Bob, how are you?
Oh, just great.
Listen,
just great.
I caught you the other day at Howard's. I didn't realize it was such an open place, Bob. It's open and spacious.
Well, I thought I had said that before, yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
It's an incredibly interesting room. It's half of the lobby of the NCNB building, the nice circular new building in downtown Tampa.
It's round. Danny the hippie, the mariner, the Dodger called up and said he wants to levitate WFLA.
Yeah.
Is that the new building on Gandy, or is that the old Jack Harris building where you're at now?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Because it seems to me that Jack Harris building will be a lot more difficult because it's all brick.
Yeah, it is basically brick, yeah.
Yeah. Bob.
Yeah.
Your Phillies, your Phillies are not going to do anything, Bob. It's the San Diego Padres you have to look out for.
They're in a different division.
Yes, but they will win the National League pennant.
There's just, for some bizarre reason, the longer this conversation goes on with you, I'm getting the feeling that you're in a different division.
No. The Padres are going to win the National League pennant, Bob.
The Padres are going to win the National League pennant. Oh,
yes.
Well.
Yes, and the Phillies will finish last.
It's possible. Most of my life the Phillies have finished last.
Well, once again, they'll finish last. The Phillies will never win another National League pennant for the rest
but you see,
of the lifetime.
That's one of the main differences between a hometown boy and a genuine sports fan, and somebody like yourself who drifts from town to town to town. I don't care if the Phillies win or lose.
Then why are you talking about them?
They're my team.
Why are you talking about them?
Because they're my guys and I love them.
And they'll lose, Bob.
Who cares?
You do. You're just
I do not. I still love them.
Yeah, but they're not going to win, Bob.
Who cares?
You do. You're mentioning them.
No, sir, I mention them because I love them, not because they win or lose.
Because you're a Phillies fan.
Sir, I have a dog, okay?
Yes.
The dog is a bozo.
Wonderful dog.
The dog is bad.
Wonderful dog.
I talk about the dog, sir. I love the dog. The dog is a loser.
But it will not finish first either.
No, sir, it will not.
Bob,
but I still love it.
Bob, have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
990-9352 in Hillsborough. What's the story, Dave?
Nothing yet, Bob.
What do you mean, nothing yet?
Out of calls right now.
What time is it?
It's got about another 2 minutes to go.
Another 2 minutes? You mean there is somebody out there who could get on the phone and talk to the magnificent Lassiter for 2 hours, or for 2 minutes, rather?
Yeah, that's correct.
And they're not doing it?
No, it's not apparently.
Perhaps it's because they don't know the phone number. Maybe they're in Hillsborough County. That's the one with a big tall building?
Well, we have someone ringing in with from St. Pete Pinellas line.
From St. Pete in Pinellas. Oh, Joe, you know we get nothing but losers on the St. Petersburg line.
This is true. We have 3 calls now calling in from St. Pete Pinellas.
Oh, well. Oh, okay. Well, let's take one. Hi there, St. Petersburg. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
How you doing, Bob?
Oh, miserable.
You're miserable? Am I going to be your last call?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to make sure I won't be.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's try another one. Hi there, St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg once. St. Petersburg twice. St. Petersburg 3 times. St. Petersburg 4 times, and we'll just wait and see who answers. Hello.
Yo, Bob, what's going on, man?
Not much. Just kind of wrapping up the show. What's going on over your place?
I know you're into good food. You like pizza, Italian food?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever in Clearwater?
No, I don't get a chance to eat in Clearwater very often.
Okay, there's a place over in Dunedin called Umberto's. If you ever get a chance, man, their pizza is fantastic.
Fantastic pizza.
Yeah, it's the best I've had down here.
Well, but you promise it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guarantee, buddy.
Guarantee.
Yep. Take it easy, man.
Well, wait a second. Where can I collect on the guarantee?
Yo?
Where can I collect on the guarantee?
I'm right here in Clearwater.
Right there in Clearwater. We'll see you Monday. I had thought of before. And the audience angered me several times this afternoon. They do that sometimes. They don't mean to do it. I don't think they really mean to do it. It's just one of those things that happens. Like the drop-off during the newscast. I walk out of here, I go to the bathroom, I feel real confident. Got virtually full board of calls. Might have had one opening. I come back in here 30 seconds later. Let me give you the phone numbers, Get my drift? 591-8900, 591-8900 to the north side. We go high north. You're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, Bob, I heard something you said when I was coming home that just kind of infuriated me just a little bit.
What's that?
You said that 3 white candidates are addressing issues that affect the whole community.
Sure as hell do.
First of all I've heard all 3 of them say is, A, they want to cut taxes, B...
Don't you think black people pay taxes?
Yeah, but then they want to increase spending on, like, the hospital, and they want to expand the jail, and they want to pay for abortions. And we all know that there's no way that you can cut taxes and increase spending unless you're going to have a deficit, and the county can't have a deficit. So, I don't know. I, for one, don't like being lied to.
Well, I don't particularly care to be lied to either, and I think that many of the issues that you raise are quite valid because, as always, it seems we are promised more services and lower taxes, and I kind of am a little bit skeptical about that, too, to tell you the truth. However,
the fourth candidate has said nothing more than I'm black, vote for me. I'll be just like Mayor Washington.
Well, I haven't heard Gene Pincham say anything. I did hear, I'm not going to mention the name, but a sleazeball reporter come on TV last night and say, and, issue a general warning to all the bigots in town that, hey, this one black guy's running against these three whites, and you better watch out, because the same thing can happen again. And I lived here in '83, and I worked in Harold Washington's campaign, and there is no such a thing in this city, maybe countywide, but not in this city, as a candidate that happens to be black. Harold Washington was a candidate that happened to be black, and you can talk to...
I'm very well aware of that. Obviously, I was not here at that time, but I appreciate what you're saying, and I appreciate that Harold Washington was a mayor of all the people in Chicago.
He tried to be, but I can send you a video, if you want, of the good, hard-working, tax-paying people who live over in St. Pascal's Parish, and what they did to Harold Washington when he tried to come over there and address issues that affect the whole city.
Well, again, I appreciate all of that, and I'm aware of most of it. But you see, my point is that the black candidate, or black candidates, as the case may be, because there are a lot of offices, don't even speak to the black middle class. They only speak to the downtrodden blacks. They seem to forget that a lot of blacks are middle class, and a lot of blacks are struggling to pay the taxes on their houses, and a lot of blacks are struggling with lousy medical service, so forth and so on. They don't care, who the guy is. If he's black or green, it doesn't make any difference. They have the same needs and problems and concerns that everybody has.
And that's true, but in this particular city, and it's unlike any other that I've ever lived in and that you probably lived in, the black underclass or the lower class or the poor people have much more in common with the black middle class than the black middle class has in common with the white middle class.
Well, then I guess I'm very naive because I don't see it that way.
You don't think that way, and probably about 10% of the people in the city don't think that way, but the other 90% unfortunately do.
Well, you see, I would have to think that the black homeowner, or you don't even have to be a homeowner, the good black substantial citizen is far more concerned with police and fire service and the emergency medical service and decent schools and job opportunities and overall taxes and things of this nature, would be much more concerned about that than whether or not the white media reports black issues in the light that the black community would like to see them presented in. That's not the major problem. It's a problem, please don't misunderstand, but it's not the major problem, and I don't even see the black candidates addressing the black middle class.
Well, it is a problem, but when they address a black candidate, or even a white candidate addresses black issues, and first of all, I would like to point out that in the black community, at least one ward, well, really two, have white aldermen. And if you can show me a white ethnic ward in this town that would elect a black as alderman, I'd like to see it, because it's never happened, and it's never going to happen. Well, that's the way...
He's faded out due to the blizzard.
You can run as a white candidate in the city, and in fact, many politicians have done so.
Well, precisely. You see, I guess that's the whole point, because Judge Pincham is not running for county board president. Judge Pincham is running for mayor.
No, he's running for county board president.
He doesn't stand a chance. He knows it, I know it, you know it, and everybody else knows it. And that's why he's not even making any effort at it. He's running for mayor.
Apparently he believes he does, and apparently certain media reporter believes he does, because, like I said, there was one on there last night, in essence, warning all the bigots about Judge Eugene Pincham. He said, this guy's running just like Harold Washington ran, and you people out there better watch out. You better put on your white sheet, because you're going to divide the white vote, and this guy's going to get elected county board president. And this, it really sickened me, especially knowing that this particular reporter is Jewish, which he should know better, but he's been sued for lying about companies and such before, so I guess he doesn't. But really, it's really terrible.
Thank you much. 591-890-591-8900. An open hour. Off it is to Mattoon, I guess that is. Hi there, Mattoon. You're on the air at WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Hi.
I'm one of those old grandmothers you beat up every now and again.
Well, I have to. You've got to keep those ratings up.
Well, I want to talk about China. I'm an old China hand. I was raised there, and I escaped the communists in 1949. I want to make a remark about Bush. I'm very upset, naturally. I want to say about the message that he gives to China. I'm talking about the Chinese people who wanted some more democracy. And he has...
Only more democracy within the Communist Party is all they were really asking for.
That's right. And he's completely bewildered and disillusioned them. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, I will say that behind this all is more than the love of China that Bush is doing this for. He sent these little messengers to say, let's forgive and forget, and let's be friends. And he was willing to compromise his own democratic ideology to save their face, because he's an old China hand. He knows how to deal with them. He thinks.
Well, I can almost understand Bushy. What I don't understand is the other 249,999,000 Americans who just aren't in the least bit offended when they hear their president say, well, gee, we don't want to offend those, murderers over there. That's what I don't understand.
Yes, but you see, he's doing this for a much, much, much deeper purpose, Bob. And the purpose is that we talk about the great trade that we can do with China. But there's an underlining thing, too, that people mostly forget. And that is this, and that you're going to have to face in 1992 the common market. And you're also facing Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And with the combination of both of those, you're going to need not only the trade, but you're going to need the very, very large force of cheap labor that China presents. And also the untapped minerals that they have. And Bush knows this because he's serving the big interests, the big corporations. They know that. They want to get in there. To hell with the American labor. They want to get in there and use cheap Chinese labor. Also to the trade of billion people. And they're not interested. They couldn't care less. They want to put their big companies out there and use the cheap labor.
Well, I would imagine by using the same logic, and I don't disagree with you that that's the logic they're using, but I would imagine by using the same set of logic and criteria, we should also really be very, very grateful to and very kind to, and certainly not want to offend, the drug cartels in Colombia, because they've got so much money, they could buy a lot of American goods, and a lot of the Colombians, of course, are dirt poor and would work very cheaply for us. I really would fail to see where there'd be a major difference between butting up with the drug cartel and butting up with the butchers in China.
Well, he's hoping that they can get a hold, the big labor could come into China and use the cheap labor, also trade, and possibly later on may need some untapped minerals that China has over there. And the thing is that there's going to be big competition, and the big corporations in America are really getting scared about it. And I really feel that this is the underlying reason why he's willing to compromise his own ideology.
It's a possibility, I suppose.
See, so
I don't know why, though, the American people are willing to compromise their own ideology.
Because they don't realize all this, Bob.
Well, all the more reason. Yes, I know what you're talking about with the coming together, 92 of the European Common Market. That's going to be a tremendous problem for this country economically. I'm aware of that. Average American isn't. Average American is not aware of that. But the average American doesn't find it at all, apparently, bizarre that their president says, gee, I don't want to offend the Chinese. Gosh, so they kill a few thousand people here, there in the public square. I mean, come on, you got to understand, right?
Yeah.
Geez, they put up a plaster statue, and that's all the reason for killing people.
But you see, Bob, I'm part Chinese myself. And I understand both sides. My mother was English. I understand both sides, the way of thinking. Now, I'll tell you what Deng Xiaoping is thinking. He doesn't trust that man, Bush.
Of course not.
If he's willing to compromise his ideology, Deng will have very little respect for him. He will exploit him. He will feed him with a few little goodies to make him feel good, too. and he will be tougher and demand more and exploit Bush more. And because he knows underlying that Bush feels that they are very much needed, and he was willing to compromise his own democracy.
Well, again, the Asian mind basically finds the European mind to be vastly inferior, to be almost uncivilized. These are not our friends.
They used to call them barbarians.
Exactly, and they still do. They call us barbarians.
That's right, because they feel that they think much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways they do, Bob.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're quite correct.
Yeah. Now, you see, Bush thinks he's going to let them save face, though it's so easy, you see. Give them a little goodie, and they'll save their face, and they'll hug him and love him. And he's only making a fool of himself and his own country.
Hear what you're saying, and I thank you for it.
Thank you very much.
591-8900.
591-8900 on WLS Talk Radio 890. Once again, here's Bob Lassiter.
Off we go to Pontiac. Hi there, Pontiac. You're on the air at WLS.
Hello.
Hi.
I listen to your show 8 hours a day. Well, not your show, but WLS 8 hours a day when I'm at work. And every time someone mentions public aid, someone says, hey, they're just a bunch of lazy bums. They don't want to go out and get a job, so they live off the government. And I'm tired of hearing that.
You're right.
I work 40 hours a week and take care of 2 kids. I'm a divorced mother, 23 years old. And, I'm doing my darndest to make ends meet.
Well, the people who say that don't want to bother to try to find out as to what they're saying as to whether or not it's true.
Yeah.
And it isn't true. You don't get a lot of money on public aid.
Nope,
and most people who are on it for less than 2 years. And most people who are on it have less than 3 children. And most people who are on it are white. And most people who are on it live in rural areas, not urban areas.
That's right. That's me.
On and on and on and on. But they're not interested in the truth. They're not interested in the facts. And again, most people who are on it are women whose husbands abandoned them.
That's right.
But they're not interested in the truth. They're just interested in fostering stereotypes and perpetuating stereotypes and misinformation. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. Just learn to live with it.
Yeah, and they don't understand that once you get on it, you're kind of stuck, at least in where I'm at. I live in a small town of 10,000 people. There's not a lot of place to go without taking off out of town, And that's hard to do with 2 small kids. And you get in this public aid thing, and like I am now, I can't quit work because public aid will take my benefits away. Mm-hmm. And I would love to go back to college. I want to go into nursing, and that's what I was doing before I got married. But if I quit, they take away my public aid. But I can't go to school because the classes that I want to take are during the day when I'm working. But if I quit, they take away my aid. And you get stuck in it.
Yep.
And I just,
And if you take a job for 20 cents an hour or more, might cost you a lot more than 20 cents an hour.
That's right. I found better jobs, one that would pay, about $1 an hour more than I'm making now, but they take $2 an hour away in public aid.
There's another thing that most people are not aware of, and that is that the majority of the budget, well over 50% of the public aid budget in the state of Illinois is for medical care, not for cash payments.
Yeah, I receive no cash at all. I do get food stamps, and I do have medical care.
Yeah, do you get medical care on your job?
If I want to pay, the job I have now pays $3.95 an hour.
Uh-huh.
If I want to pay $75 a week out of my paycheck, I can get medical insurance.
Yeah, that's another thing people tend to forget about. A lot of the reason that people like yourself are on public assistance is medical care because you can't afford it.
And with
it isn't even offered sometimes.
With 2 small kids, they get sick or fall down or something, it's $100. Just take them to the emergency room.
Yep, I know.
And it's just a vicious circle. You can't get out once, right now I'm at the point I feel like I'm never going to get out of this.
Well, there are an awful lot of people in this industry who just don't bother to find out if what their callers are saying is true or if it's in the least bit accurate. It's just nice to pass along things that people want to believe. Such is life.
Yeah. But, and I pay $65 a week for a babysitter for 2. A lot of people don't understand that, And I guess I just feel wanted to say.
Hey, look, lady, stop your crying and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, You can't afford boots, can't you?
Well, for my children, yes. For me, no.
I know. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
591-8900, 591-8900. Hyde Park, where you go. Hi, you're on the air at WLS.
Yes, good evening, Bob.
Good evening.
Okay. I've seen the incident with the union up in West Virginia and the FBI. I mean, I could not believe that.
Yeah, it's just really nice feeling watching U.S. Marshals haul away people who are desperate, isn't it?
Yeah, and striking for their job. I mean, they're bringing in these people for a little of nothing.
And it's lousy work and so forth and so on. But there are your tax dollars at work, helping some nice landowner do away with a very unpleasant problem like people who are upset about losing their jobs.
But see, now, I hope the union do purchase United Airlines. I think this is what's going to happen to keep our jobs here. The people that's going to have to take over.
I hope they don't, because it's a grossly overinflated price, and they'll probably end up losing their money.
Well, I mean,
and their jobs, too.
Hopefully they can get the price down. But, I mean, I think jobs will stay here and be more stable if, the people that's working had some input in it instead of just the corporate America making decisions for us. Now, have you seen Eye on the Prize?
Have I seen what?
Eyes on the Prize.
No, I have not.
You ought to look at that. It comes on once a month. I mean, 3 times a week. But anyway, it's dealing with the civil rights movement of the 60s. Mm-hmm. And Monday night they focused on when they was in Detroit. And that was the first time it came to me, that was just like a war zone. It was just like in East Germany, when they went to war. And I think if people look at that, maybe they'll think and stop going along with this government every time they decide to go and invade other people's country, because the same thing we do to other people, it can happen to us.
Frequently does, doesn't it?
Oh, and it does. But I mean, I think people feel like this. We got all the missiles and all the power. And I think this is one main reason behind Bush kowtowing to China. They know China got a lot of people, and China got those missiles. And it is one agreement they want China to make is not to sell missiles to the Middle East. But I just feel like this government here, they don't represent us, even though we put them there, but they don't represent the people. They represent themselves. I mean, Bush ideology. What about our
I have no indication that Bush's ideology is markedly different from the average American who bothers to vote. I have no indication that it's markedly different at all.
Well, it's different from mine. Now, the progressive candidate, I want to talk about Judge Pensham. He said he's just running as a black candidate.
He is.
I disagree. For he have focused on some issues. He talked about the health care problem, the county hospital. He talked about the forest reserve. He is talking about issues. Now, what do you care about the county?
Well, you say he's talking about issues, but he's not talking to the Chicago Tribune or to the Sun-Times about them. Maybe he's talking about the quote-unquote issues to the black media in the black community.
No.
He hasn't come into my community to talk about the issues.
He has been talking. You cannot, and he cannot force the Trib and the Sun-Times and nobody else to write about his issues.
Well, let me give you an example. I had about 5-6 weeks ago. Grief! I suddenly lost his name. Dick Phelan on this show.
Mm-hmm.
No time at all. Stanley Custer requested equal time. So we also sent out to the other 2 candidates notification that if they wanted equal time, they'd be only, too often to come in. We have an obligation to do so. Never heard back from Judge Pensham.
Well, what about Custer? And what about the other?
Custer's the one that asked for the equal time.
Okay, and then, and Lekowitz?
He didn't bother to respond either, to the best of my knowledge.
So don't just make it seem like it's Judge Pensham.
Well, it isn't just Judge Pensham, but he is the one who is running as a black candidate in the black community.
That's you saying that. I haven't heard him say that. I've heard him say progressive candidate, but never the black candidate.
Well, I know he doesn't call himself the black candidate per se, but when you walk around saying things like elect me, and I'll be just like former Mayor Washington, I'll take up where he left off, that's sending a pretty strong message.
Well,
and, maybe it's not spelled out, but you don't have to be able to read that one.
Because the late mayor, he was for the people. It did not matter whether you voted for him or not, he had the street paved anyway.
Well, he was also black, which was very convenient, and that's the message that Judge Pincham is sending.
Well, maybe the message is that all white people can't be fair. Do you think that's possible?
Well, if that's the message, and if that is the attitude in the black community, then I think we have nothing but trouble ahead.
Well,
absolutely nothing but trouble. There are an awful lot of people who are more than willing to work together. But there are elements in the white community, of course, that would like to be totally separate from the black community. And unfortunately, there are a lot of elements in the black community that would like to be totally separate from the white community, and that's a no-win situation.
Well, you know, like with the incident with the Catholic Church, I think maybe it's a good thing. Maybe still having, since they are supposed to be Catholic, maybe you see more black and white congregation now. But I think, you know, really, the Catholic Church and a lot of these churches, they get just what they got coming. Or they ripping people off with the money and with this lie about tithe. We is not living under the law, and there is no tithing. And I'm tired of these preachers, regardless of their religious background, lying about the money. And that's all I have to say for today.
Take care. 591-8900.
What a lift. Right now at Lord & Taylor, you can feel the excitement.
Church, and speaking of people who conveniently don't respond to invitations to come on to a program, this or sometimes any other, we have tried for 4 days now to get somebody from the diocese to come on to talk about the closings, because this may surprise you considerably, but my heart bleeds, literally, for the people who are losing their churches and losing their schools. I've got a lot of problems with the Catholic hierarchy, and I have a lot of problems with an awful lot of doctrine and Bibles and things of that nature. But I also have a lot of problems with people who are deceived or people who are jerked around. And I feel very, very badly for those people who the church is such a large part of their lives, and who have given so freely and generously of their time and their money, and now are just having the rug yanked out from underneath them by a diocese that is crying poverty. But a diocese that can afford people to answer the phone, and that can afford people to have special titles, you know, like public relations director and third assistant public, and on and on and on and on. A diocese that is crying we don't have enough priests to staff these churches, which is another reason we have to close them, but who can keep an awful lot of priests around the office doing God only knows what, if you'll pardon the expression. And we have finally given up on them. They didn't have the courtesy to tell us no. They just kept on putting us off, because they knew the story would eventually go away. It pretty much has. And they knew that eventually we would get tired of calling them, and we have. We've gotten very tired of calling them. But I just thought I'd mention that. Dalton, hi, you're on the air at WLS.
Hello.
Hi there, Dalton.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. I want to talk to you about the failure of the Senate to override President Bush's veto.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me to thinking about democracy and what democracy means. If we add the number of the congressmen from the House of Representatives and the senators that voted for and voted against it, we come out to about a 4-to-1 majority in favor of vetoing it. And the question I want to pose to
No, it's in favor of overriding the veto.
Of overriding it, yeah. Mm-hmm. The question I want to pose to you is, which of the two governing bodies do you think more represents the average American?
It's irrelevant. The Constitution says that both houses have to override by a two-thirds majority.
It's irrelevant. That's the whole point, is not democracy.
Well, obviously the Congress is more representative of the population in general.
Pardon?
Obviously the Congress is more representative of the population in general.
And they overwhelmingly voted, didn't they? I wonder why we don't simply have them to vote rather than them and the Senate.
Because the Founding Fathers didn't like that idea. They thought it was a much better idea to have both houses.
So we have a 4-to-1 majority in favor of overriding the veto, and yet we can't do it.
Well, the Founding Fathers also didn't have a great deal of faith in the average man. They didn't have a great deal of faith in him at all. They weren't even too thrilled about giving him a vote.
That says a heck of a lot. Anyway, the question came to mind. I thought I would call you. One other thing I did wanted to ask you, and that is, what about confining your callers to one topic only? Hello?
Well, I guess that's what I'll do to you, and you've already had yours. Yeah. Off we go to Aurora. Hi, Aurora. You're on the air at WLS.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
I caught earlier in your program you were talking about, you said some of the things our government is doing and our society is stupid. And
frequently they are, yep.
Pardon?
Frequently they are.
Yeah, and I agree in part that our population, our society is allowing what our government is doing as we are being stupid, but I don't think that the government is stupid in their actions. I think it's intentional.
Sir, the government's made up of the people.
Well,
where do you think they come from, Mars?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I agree with you. I mean, the representatives are so-called public servants.
Well, again, they come from the people, sir. They didn't come from Mars.
Well, yeah, but they're breeding themselves. They're professional politicians, professional bureaucrats, and that is the way they operate. I would like to see more average, common, everyday people get into office, but it's very difficult, you know. And the reason I say this, I came across an article by, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Mr. Jim Townsend, editor, publisher, National Educator.
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Okay, he wrote an article I read last year, and I happen to have saved it. And it says in the beginning, we operate within the framework of a White House directive.
Please don't read it, Jimmy. Just tell me what it says.
Okay. In other words, what it's saying is that there was a presidential directive issued that the United States this foundation was to alter the life in the United States so it can comfortably be merged with life in the Soviet Union.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, it's in the Reese Committee's investigation of giving out foundation grants.
Yeah?
This statement was made by Roland Gator, president of the Ford Foundation.
Uh-huh. And what they're really trying to do is to merge the two countries together?
That's what Roland Gator's saying. And no, not to merge them. To merge with life as that in the Soviet Union. In other words, lower our standard of living.
Uh-huh.
And it's happening. You got 20% of the middle class went into poverty in the last year.
Really? 20% of the middle class went into poverty last year? God, I must have missed the paper that day that was reported.
Well, I don't think you can read every paper, can you?
No, it's kind of, I'm pretty much stuck with the Tribune and the Sun-Times.
What was published in the paper was done by a government agency study.
Uh-huh.
That 20% lowered their level of income from what they were making. They were middle class, and they went into the poverty level.
Son of a gun. Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Take care there. Don't hurt yourself on the way out. You know, one of the things that I bitterly regret, I've been listening to talk radio for a long, long, long time. I go back as a talk radio listener to the early 1960s in Philadelphia. And one of the things that I really regret is that I didn't get into the business early enough. I mean, by the time I got into the business, that type of caller was relatively rare and unique. Back in the good old days, like 3 out of every 4 callers had some type of great conspiracy, usually involving communism, the Soviet Union, or people from outer space, or sometimes a combination thereof. And I miss that so much, you know, hearing about how they're plotting to make us just like the Soviets. Des Plaines, hi, Des, you're on the air at WLS.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah.
I was wondering, where did you get the information to say that more whites are on welfare than blacks?
From the Illinois State Welfare Office.
You can obtain that from them just by calling them or sending to them?
Sure, they'd be delighted to send you information on it. Hell, it's your office, your money.
I find that so hard to believe.
You find it hard to believe? Why?
Because there's a high concentration of blacks wherever there's a welfare state. You do not have blacks like in Montana. Very few blacks. There's no welfare there.
Huh.
Very low welfare state.
Very few blacks in Montana because there's no welfare.
That's a good idea, yeah, I think so.
Is that why people...
What's your opinion?
Well, as a matter of fact, there are very few whites in Montana, too, as a matter of fact.
But...
a lot of cattle.
You're right.
Quite a bit of tumbleweed. So I suppose that one of the main reasons that so few people live in Montana, white or black, is because there's no welfare. Of course, there is welfare in Montana.
Very little.
Very little.
Very little welfare.
It'd be hard to have much littler than what we have here in Illinois.
Yep. No blacks.
I mean, do you really think that blacks have congregated in Illinois because, for example, a woman with 2 children gets about $390 a month. That's good reason to move to Illinois?
You got 3 and 4 generation of family being on welfare.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea as to what percentage of the people on welfare are a 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th generation?
No.
I
would like to get that
low.
information. That's why I'm asking you.
Very low. I don't have the figures in front of me, but it seems to me it's something in the neighborhood of 2 to 5%, if my memory serves me, and I'm taking a guess on that one.
What is the percentage of whites? Is it 55%, 60, 70? Of all welfare recipients?
I don't know. Something like that.
Look into it myself. I just thought that was real hard to believe.
Okay, take care there. Love you anyway, Chicago.
I'm the son you've always wanted. I am, aren't I? I really am the son you've always wanted. Can I borrow a couple bucks? I don't know, maybe 50 or something like that.
I always wanted a middle-aged faggot kid who lies about his age. Hello?
Oh, God.
Hello? Hello?
Almost time for a commercial.
No. Hello? Hello?
Whatever happened to Brandon Brain Lady?
I don't know. I'm afraid she's probably dead.
She was such an intelligent caller.
No, she wasn't, but
and
she had that horrible, horrible hacking cough, and the more she called, the worse. I always worried about her. Lois, the Brandon Brain Lady.
Yeah, what is the Vanessa?
It's the Fnortner, sir.
The Vanessa.
I don't have a Vanessa.
You used to say the Vanessa was the time.
Oh, Jesus God. That was 10 years ago.
Well?
And I don't even know why we did it. Sure I do. It was a woman named Vanessa who called up and asked what time it was.
So, what's the Vanessa?
It was cute the first time. Hello?
Bob, is Jeffy moonlighting doing the Angelus prayers on WBVM?
No, sir, he's just mooning. Hello?
At least I made the baseball team, for God's sake.
Well, you got a point there.
Baseball teams.
Oh, sure they do. Sure they do. Hell, there's even been a faggot on the NFL. Hello?
I just saw that Marlon Brando movie, The Chase. Did you enjoy it?
Hello?
Bobby!
Yeah?
How the heck are you, man?
Doing, dude. I'm doing it, dude.
Hey, Bobby, let's reel him in. I got a great joke, man, that everybody's gonna love.
Hello?
Hey, Bob, you are a good sport, aren't you?
I'm sorry, sir. The phone crapped out at apparently a key point of what you were saying. Well, now he knows. Because now he just heard it replayed, and he knows that whatever it was, we lost. Hello?
Let's get it out.
A dream on, dude. Hello? Guy sitting home on a Friday night, has no place to go, nobody to be with, calls up the show and says, let's get it on. Yeah, that's really believable. Hello?
The more I listen, the sicker I get.
Hello? Hello?
He's not sick of me, I don't think. I mean, I think I add to the show. I always have. Actually, you know, my intelligence far surpasses yours. It always has.
Yes, but, sir, everybody knows I'm a moron. Hello?
Bob.
Yes?
I'm new to Tampa, and I didn't think there was that many stupid people in Tampa. I don't know how you put up with it, but, boy, you have some patience.
Oh, sir, please. These calls are not all from Tampa. Many of them are from Pinellas County. Hello?
What time is it?
Hello?
Bobby!
Yeah?
Love you, man.
Oh, love you too, dude. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
Will's VW Repair in Tampa, Florida?
Yeah?
Is this, information?
Dude, is that the best you can do?
Perhaps, Bob.
Well, why don't you practice with a brain game, you know? Try to develop your technique, things of that nature, and then you can, you know, maybe someday be up to calling this show. Hello?
The brain game is better than your show, pal.
That's only because you know half of the questions. Hello?
What time does the brain damage snowbird report come on?
Hello?
You ever seen
a naked kike?
Yes.
How about a nigger?
Yes.
Bob?
Yeah.
Can I ask Jeffy a question?
No, you can't. Hello?
Gary Coleman. Oh, God.
Hello? Oh, pity. Hello?
Not.
Hello?
Just some advice for somebody who wants his own show. Hey, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Would you, oh, darn, he hung up before I could offer him a lottery ticket. Hello?
Yes, I was wondering if you could tell me how many times I've called this evening.
No, would you like a lottery ticket? Darn. Hello?
Do you have the balls to call me a faggot in person to my face?
Oh, golly.
Yes no?
Golly, no.
No, I just figured I'd ask. I'm not into force and stuff like that.
I just answered you.
I'd ask anyway.
Golly, no.
I mean, it's real easy when you have the dump button to do it. I mean, but, you know, in person.
I haven't dumped you. I haven't dumped you.
No, I know, but it's really easy to do.
It really has nothing whatsoever to do with whether or not you have a has nothing whatsoever to do with whether or not you have a dump button.
Well, no. There's a lot of talk shows have the balls when they have dump button mentality, but I figured I'd ask you if you had the balls to do it to my face.
I've already answered you three times.
Three-minute rounds in a ring with gloves on.
Whoa.
I figured it would draw people. Maybe we could do it for a charity or something.
Whoa.
No, I'm not trying to threaten you or anything. I would be stupid, but I just figured I'd ask. Would you like to do that?
No.
Why not? You call people faggots. I mean, if you call me a faggot on the street, I'd probably knock your balls off, man. No pun intended or anything, but, you know.
I know that you're always drawn to your favorite part of the body. Hello?
Yeah, I'd call Mr. Chase a faggot to his face. I'll get off here, give my name and phone number. If you'd like to give it to him, he is a queen.
Hello?
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Hello? Oh, darn. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Do you remember last week some woman called you? She was upset that she couldn't get insurance because of her, because she was cohabitating with a guy, and that her company would only cover homosexual relationships that were cohabitating. Do you remember that?
I don't think that's exactly what the call was, but yeah, I recall the call that you're talking about.
Well, I just thought I'd mention that the homophobes in Tampa voted down the sexual equal rights law, and she would have been protected under that law, meaning that if her company would offer that kind of coverage to a homosexual couple, then they would, by law, have had to offer that coverage to a heterosexual couple. But because they had to vote down the law, the homophobes were calling it a gay rights law. But you see how it backed up on the heterosexual crowd. I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, can I referee that match?
Would you like a lottery ticket?
Sure.
Okay. Jeffy, that's line 7. Get rid of that last lottery ticket. Hello?
Hey.
Yeah?
Is this Microsoft helpline? Microsoft Toilet? I'm trying to get some help on my computer, you know?
Dude, you need help. Serious help. Hello? Caught you by surprise, didn't we? Hello?
What a blast. Hey, Bob, did you ever blow bubbles as a child?
No, she wouldn't let me. Hello?
Admit you're out of shape, Bob, and you couldn't face it. And I'm not middle-aged.
I'm out of shape.
Come on, admit it.
I'm out of shape.
Oh, I know you are. But anyway, the guy can leave his number with Jeffy. I'll call him at about 8:04, and I'd be more than happy to meet him anywhere just because I'm an asshole. What the hell? I don't care.
Jeffy, there's another one. Flag the tape. We'll play the hell out of that one. Hello?
Why do birds Suddenly appear.
Hello?
Bob.
Yeah?
One of the commercials in the Super Bowl was two guys in a grocery store purchasing beer and a roll of toilet paper. They didn't have enough money for the toilet paper, so they buy the beer instead and get it in a paper bag. That just about exemplifies the intelligence of the averaging caller on your program for the past 2 hours. Does it not? Okay.
Hi, you're the first caller. Hi, you're the second caller. Hello? Oh, tragedy. Hello? What can I do for you?
Are you going to extrapolate your numbers tonight?
The word is extrapolate.
That's exactly what I said.
No, you put letters in there that aren't there.
Tonight?
No, sir, I'm going to do you. Hello? Hi, you're caller number 3. Hi, you're caller number 4. Hello, what can I do for you?
Hello, hi, I did, last caller?
No. Why would you think that you would be the 9th caller?
Just because I was counting and thought maybe I might be 9.
Well, perhaps the next time you'll pay attention to what phone number you're supposed to call rather than, tie up your brain counting up to 9. Hello? What can I do for you?
Hey, I dialed like you wanted me to.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, because you wouldn't be on this line if you had. Hi, you're caller number 5. Hi, you're caller number 6. Hello? What can I do for you?
The numbers, please.
You're caller number 7. Hello? You're caller number 8.
Oh, man.
You, sir, are caller number 9. I'll put you on hold. Hello? What can I do for you?
Hey, Bob.
Yes?
Hi, did I make it number 9?
No.
No?
No.
No? I thought for sure this would be the one.
No. No, you could never be caller number 9 on this line.
No?
No, it's not the number we gave out.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was listening so close.
No, a little closer next time. Hello?
Yeah, this is Wes. I already won today. I just wanted to see what it was like to call the wrong telephone number.
Now you know.
Yes.
Hello?
When are you going to start doing me?
It's your lifelong dream, isn't it, dude? Hello? Hello?
Chase, get off the damn lawn.
Hello?
Is this the cornhole queen?
Yes, I think it is. Don't call me again. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Am I the 9th caller?
No, just a bad one. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Am I 9? Am I 9? Am I 9? 10? I don't know.
Jeffy, that one is a keeper. Put that one, flag the tape, put that one on a card or something. Hello? Hi, you're on the air 970 WFLA.
23 calls is...
You're on the air 970 WFLA. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Yeah, this is Wes again. It's really pathetic, isn't it, that they just keep dialing the wrong number and the wrong number over and over again.
You're on the air 970 WFLA.
9 caller?
What makes you think you'd be the 9th caller? Another one. Cat got his tongue. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Not what I...
Oh, it's one of those clever ones that holds the phone up to the radio.
WFLA.
God, this is such an incredibly creative market. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Hello, this Gasparilla party they're having. I wish they'd have a repeat of the Altamont Speedway when the Rolling Stones came to Altamont and
kill people, yeah.
Went everywhere.
Yeah, kill people, yeah.
Well, I'd like to throw like billiard balls at them instead of beads. See you.
God, don't you just love blowhards? Hi, you're on the air 970 WFLA.
What pirate ship are you on tomorrow, Bob?
I'm not on any pirate ship tomorrow. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How come I got through on that line you gave out to give the free tickets away, and you had the winner already on the hold? Do you have two lines going to that same line or something, or what?
Is this the number that you called, sir?
No, this is the free line. I was using my cell phone. I was using the line that the number...
No, sir, I didn't ask you what phone you were using. I asked you if this was the number you called for the free tickets.
And I said, no, I'm on my cell phone. No, I'm on my cell phone. I called the number that you gave out over the air.
What was that number, sir?
It's on my phone. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more lines going into that one phone number than... Is there more than one?
Well, there were two phone numbers given out, sir.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, the Hillsborough contest line and the Pinellas contest line.
All right, well...
They're answered back and forth.
Okay, I was like the third caller, and I kept trying, and it was ringing, and then you had a winner on hold, so... Hey, I tried.
Okay.
Appreciate it, buddy.
There he goes.
There you go.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Got any hockey tickets?
No.
Good.
Hello?
Yeah, my name is Rastus. Am I the next caller? Hey, man, me and Kingfish, we want to start a rib joint, man.
I don't know which numerical caller you are, but I know that you're a very bad caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Who is this?
This is me. Hello?
Yeah. Hi.
Hello?
Why don't you grow up? There ain't no Santa Claus.
Hello?
Goodbye.
Hello?
Neil mentioned your numbers today. Him and his wife on the show.
Hello?
Hey, Bobby, what the hell is going on here? By the way, did Jeffy ever get rid of that barber chair?
No.
No?
No. It's filled with rat feces and urine. Then.
Well, you know, maybe he could move it into the new place and put a plant in it. And
Well, he was bitching last night about, his stool. Why doesn't he bring his barber chair in if it's so comfortable?
What's the matter with Jeffy's stool?
The color and the smell is just horrible. 990 WFLA in Hillsborough.
I didn't think you'd go there. That's all right.
All I said is the color and the smell are horrible.
I know, but I didn't think you'd
I've
go
never
there.
seen such an ugly stool. Why you guys keep that stool around that room is beyond me. I'd throw it out. But nobody wants to touch it. Probably because of the smell and the color.
The Bay Area.
Can you, talk about your ratings, please? Because Steve Dimmick says you're getting whooped by him.
Well, he's wrong about that.
I don't think he is.
Well, he is.
He would never lie.
Well,
You've been known to lie.
Maybe he's... what lie have I ever told you?
You said Kennywood Park was closed.
No, that wasn't a lie.
No, you said you were sure it was closed, and you were wrong.
Well,
So you
that's
lied.
right. I was wrong. There's a difference between being wrong, not knowing what you're talking about, and lying.
Well, then Steve Dimmick's right.
Like you lie.
No, I never lie.
Sure you
What
do.
have I lied about?
Said you weren't gay. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
Yes, I'd like to
Think you'd think after all these years he would know that he just doesn't stand a chance. Yes, hello.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah.
I was wondering, in the St. Pete Times today, it says News Radio 970 WFLA, Franklin and Madison tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But it says, it doesn't say a time. What time are you guys going to be there?
I'm not going to be there.
All day.
All day tomorrow.
That's right.
Is that from sunrise till sunset or what? I mean, could you be a tad more specific?
All day during the Gas Gorilla event.
Well, what time will we be there?
How much more?
What time will, well, specific enough, to give this nice woman some kind of a ballpark. I mean, should she show up at 5:30 in the morning, or maybe hold off until noon, or
if she's
maybe
in the
something?
Parade, you need to be there. Start getting there. Early.
I don't think she is in the parade. She wants to watch the parade, and she would like to visit the.
Well, actually, I don't want to watch the parade. I just want to see 970 WFLA, and then I want to know who's going to be there because it doesn't say in the Times.
Have you ever seen a card table?
Yes.
That's all you're going to see.
Okay, well,
we're going to have two bands.
Okay, what bands are
We're going to have two bands.
Yeah, but that's tomorrow night. That's after the parade, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I think so. You see, Jesse, if we had bands off to the side during the parade, that would cause people to have to choose between one or the other. And both the parade and the bands would lose. So the bands will be after the parade.
Yeah, see, I'm only coming to see the WFLA, and who's going to be there?
Well, we're going to have more Gasparilla event updates.
At 8 o'clock.
Between 8 and 8:15.
Well, she also asked who is going to be there, Jesse. Which is a very, very good question. Who is going to be there?
Well,
I'm out of town.
I believe Marvelous Marvin is going to be there.
I know Jeffy, no Bob, no...
He's going to be... I didn't say I wasn't going to be there.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say he was going to be there, ma'am. He is lying through his teeth to you.
Okay, so more updates between 8 and 8:15.
8 and 8:15.
Oh, gosh, you guys are keeping this a big secret.
No, ma'am, he doesn't know. And he's hoping that you're not going to stick around for an hour.
Between 8 and 8:15, promise, cross my heart.
This woman has a life,
Cross
Jeffy.
my heart.
She has a life. She has other things to do. It's not like this is some kind of a big secret. Just spill your guts. Tell her what you know, or have you already done that?
Jeffy, give up the secrets. Come on.
Between 8 and 8:15.
He's already told you everything he knows.
All righty, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you're going to be there. Cool.
No, I'm not going to be there.
She said we'll see you tomorrow.
I thought she meant she's going to stop by the house on her way to the parade. Because that's the only way she's going to see me tomorrow. I got to get another package of cigarettes.
Oh, I thought you were getting me my present.
Hello. Oh, track. Hello. Oh, Jeffy, make an official notation on the official station log that on the 800 line at 7:13:30 on Friday night, February the 5th, history was made. A caller called in and flushed a toilet on the air, live, and initial it. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
What do you want? Another one struck with fear. Absolute fear. Terrified. Yeah, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey, good evening, Bob.
Yeah. What do you want?
A couple of questions.
Couple of questions, okay. Guess you didn't really have a couple of questions. Hello? Hello? Guess you didn't really have a couple of questions. Hello? Hello? Guess you didn't really have a couple of questions. Hello?
Why are you calling me gay?
I don't think I called you gay.
You accused me of being it.
No, I accused you of lying about it.
No, well, that's not true. Why do you sleep in
Yes,
stuff
it is true. I accused you of lying about it.
No, I'm not.
No, I didn't say you were accusing yourself of lying. I was accusing you of lying about it.
Right, you were saying that I'm saying I'm not when I am when I'm not.
I'm very confused, but it sounds to me like you're admitting to, being gay.
I would not doubt one bit that you're a little bit confused. At least that's what Steve Dumig says.
So how come you don't listen to the Steve Dumig show, but listen to this one? Hi, you're on the air 970 WFLA.
I have nothing to say, so hang up.
good challenge. He'll hang up first. I knew he would when I do this.
Not too bad. Last couple Fridays been okay.
I mean, the natives just tone themselves down immediately at 8 o'clock.
Takes them a little while to work them down.
Well, he's only got 2 hours. How long does it take them?
Well, 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. 7:24 is the time.
Yes.
Hello.
Rather listen to 2 hours of TJ than Marvelous Moron. That's the truth, man. But I'll tell you about that later.
The sad fact of the matter is, you're not going to get a show here.
Stop your bitching.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Bob, please?
Yes.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Excellent.
Hey, great. Hey, man, I've got an idea. It may or may not work. You know, all these idiots that call on Friday night, before they even start talking, have them say whether they're left or right. And if they tell the truth, you can see, who the idiots are. They're the left-wingers.
Brilliant.
Hey,
Brilliant.
And I've got another idea for you.
Oh, another idea. Oh, boy.
Okay, to celebrate
I'll
Black...
run it over.
Hey, you know who Alan Keyes is, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to get a piece of white canvas and paint a Confederate flag on it and put Alan Keyes for president.
Why don't you just buy a Confederate flag?
Because you can't put Alan Keyes for president on it.
Oh. Which is against the law?
No, because there's no room to put it. It's like a bumper sticker, something maybe like twice the size of a bumper sticker. And I'm going to put like those tape-on magnets, put on the back of it, and stick it on the back of my car.
Okay.
Okay, have a good night, Bob.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Hello.
When are you ever going to give away some more charcoal? I want some more charcoal. I haven't been able to do any barbecue since the WSU in.
Hello. Oh, pity we lost that one. Hello.
Hold to get on Bob Lassiter. I don't want you messing me up my train of thought this time. Gee.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Hello.
I have a bag of gerbils for you today, Robert.
Oh, I wouldn't want those gerbils, because I know where they've been. Hello.
I never wanted a show. I just said I'd rather listen to TJ, the Marvelous Moron.
Hello. Hello. We outlasted him last week. We'll outlast him again this week. Got to crunch a little louder, dude. Starting to breathe heavy. Probably the most exercise he's had in a month. Except for what he does in the bathroom with the water turned on.
want to talk about your ratings.
Okay. What would you like to talk about?
Well, with your new owners and shows like this without ratings, you're not going to have a job for long.
So?
Well, with your new owners and shows like this without ratings, you're not going to have a job for long.
He's fascinated by the sound of his own voice. No one else is, but he is.
What?
Just wait for it to come by on the radio again. Oh, you finally turned it down at the wrong time, asshole. You're on the air, 970 WFLA.
Yo, Bob?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You'll be there till 8, won't you?
Actually, 7:56. Hello?
Fog.
Hello?
WFLA, finally? Hello?
Yes.
Who am I speaking with?
Me?
Who's me? Is this Bob?
Yes, sir.
Well, I wanted to commend you on hitting the same note every time you hum that little song. The same note every time. It's beautiful. Commend you on hitting the same note every time you hum that little song. By golly, it is me. I'll just turn that off. Yes, I just wanted to commend you on it. You hit the same pitch every time. Every time. And that's wonderful. I don't know how you do it. Were you musically trained?
I don't want to go there. Hello?
Did you hum like that when you made love to Neil?
Yes, I did. Hello?
That's really cruel, man. You dump the people that mention my name.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yes, I am.
You're really good.
I'm cruel, too.
You got me. I ain't bowing down, though, but you got me. See ya.
Hello?
Mr. Hanky.
Means something to him. Hello? Hello?
Goodbye.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Bob?
Yes.
Goodbye. Hey, Bob.
Yes.
Who's this? This is not Bob, is it?
What do you want?
Oh, come on, Bob. Hey, remember me? I met you in the Computer City. I'm the mayonnaise sandwich guy.
Sir, it was possibly the highlight of your life, but it wasn't a
no, remember.
Highlight of mine. No, I don't remember.
Well, I know you don't, but remember I told you put Fritos in them?
Sir, what did I just tell you? I told you I don't remember meeting you.
If you met me again, you would remember for sure. But
possibly if you gave me a $2 million check, but beyond that, I tend to doubt it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not trying to dick with you or whatever, you know. I'm not messing with you or nothing. But put some Fritos in the mayonnaise sandwich. You will really love it.
Sir?
That's great, Bob. Why don't you say it again for those of you who missed it?
I believe Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik for the title.
Yeah, I know Hulk Hogan. He's a good friend of mine, but he's no Jack Kennedy. But, you know, I think seriously that we ought to go back to the old-timers. And I think, remember Mil Mascaras? Remember that, Eddie?
Didn't he used to run the feed store in Odessa?
No, Mil Mascaras, 1,000 masks. One of the yes, sir.
I think Hulk Hogan is an American hero.
You know he's from Tampa, don't you?
Yeah.
Robinson High School.
I think Andre Giant's a communist.
I think he's a communist. I think he's a spy. And I think they ought to set him on fire.
Well, Larry, take care of yourself. Bob,
Eddie, take care, pal.
Be good, Eddie. Let's go to Harry in Tampa. Harry, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Harry.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
I had mailed something to you about a week ago. I was wondering if you got it.
Well, Harry, I normally get 25, 30 pieces of mail. Oh, could you be a little bit more specific?
Well, it was a comic on the Bush and the caucus.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have it actually even in my briefcase as we speak.
Oh, you like that one?
Yes, I did.
I was wondering if you got it. Hey, lad.
Yes, sir?
Remember when Mary called and she had appointed you to help clean up the streets of Tampa?
Yes, sir.
I have the perfect job for you on that.
What is that,
Yeah,
sir?
we're looking for a broom for him right now.
Well, yeah, following the horses in a parade.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't I follow you around instead?
Oh, that'd be a lot cleaner.
Because if you drop as much as you spew, I got a lot of work on my hands.
Well, as much as coming out of you.
I think you're a communist.
Oh, no.
I think you're a communist, and I also think you're a little Latin loafers.
Not really.
Why don't you go to work? Get a job, do something, be productive, help this country. That's what's wrong with this country, is people like you.
Well,
You're probably into drugs.
Never.
Sounds like
some,
it.
But
you sound brain damaged.
No.
I think you're a communist. Why don't you come out to Plant City sometime? I'll show you my backhoe.
No, that would scare me when you pull your pants down.
Yeah. You would be afraid.
Yeah.
Little twit.
Have you shown your backhoe to many people, Lud?
Did you say black hoe?
No, I said backhoe.
Oh, yeah, I do. It's very nice,
But you do, too. Jim in Clearwater. Jim, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hi, Lud. I have a question for you.
Yes,
the other guy just called up a second ago asking about what you thought of Hulk Hogan.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Iron Mike Sharp?
I think he's a great American.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you said that you thought Hulk Hogan was a fake, yet you said he's your friend, right? Well, you got to realize one thing. The guy can only be as great a wrestler as those that he wrestles. And there are just so many terrible wrestlers like Iron Mike Sharp that, prevent Hulk Hogan from showing his true talent.
That's a very interesting point. I'm going to write that down and keep it 10 years from now. I'm going to pull it out and read it again.
I'm telling you. But, I mean, it's like, Iron Mike Sharp, though.
Crayon really lasts for 10 years?
I don't know, bub.
Well, I guess you'll find out when you pull it out and read it.
What do you think of the Shroud of Turin controversy?
Oh, what does that have to do with wrestling?
That's an interesting question. That's a damn good question. I can't answer that one.
Was it,
Is the Shroud of Turin anything like the Shroud of Plant City?
We had a shroud out there. There was a guy named, hello, am I on?
Yeah, you're...
This is on.
What I put you on?
There was a guy named Vernell Scruggs, and one day he was hit by lightning, and he was laying out, they had a sheet out, I don't know what he was doing, and the lightning supposedly formed a perfect image of his body. And we called it the Shroud of Plant City for a while. We had it carbon-12 dated, too. I thought maybe we had found another relic.
Joan in Largo. Joan, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
Hi, Joan.
I called you Wednesday about Howard's Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind enough to give me directions to get there.
Yep.
We got there about 3.
Mm-hmm.
Great food. Great directions. We didn't get the hamburgers, though. We were too early.
Oh, yeah.
That came on the evening meal, so we're going to go back.
Well, all right.
And the everyone was nice there. Clean place. I was really impressed.
It's a nice neighborhood place. It really, truly is.
How were the restrooms, ma'am? I always check the restrooms out.
I was so busy eating, I didn't think of restrooms.
I see. I like any, you know how you can tell a good restaurant when they got that sign that says all employees must wash their hands. That's always kind of a benchmark, so to speak,
well,
of a
everything
fine...
was so clean in that restaurant. The floor, everything, I'm sure it said it inside, although I didn't go into it. But, Bob, I want to thank you a lot.
Well, thank you.
Appreciated it.
Well, thank you, Joan. I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh, we did. Thought we might see you there.
All right.
Hung around till about 4, and I said, oh, he's not coming.
Don't. The next time you go back, don't get the cheesecake unless you have good self-control.
I didn't get it because I didn't have room for anything.
Okay.
But we're going to prepare the next time.
Thank you, Joan.
That was kind of the spur of the moment.
Yeah, it's best not to eat for about 3 days before you go to Howard's.
You said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob.
Are you from Boston, ma'am?
I'm from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Uh-huh.
That's a beautiful part of the country.
You think so? I like Florida.
Well, that's probably what they're saying in Rhode Island, too.
That's right. Okay.
Bye-bye, Joan. You've been as far north as Rhode Island?
I've been all over the country, Bob.
All over the country?
I used to be in a circus years ago.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I was a tilt-a-whirl operator. Me and Merle used to be on a circuit. We've been all over.
Tilt-a-whirl?
Tilt-a-whirl, yeah. We used to go down and look for change after we'd shake everybody all up. It was a lot of fun, Used to love the freak shows, too, Bob.
Oh, no.
They ain't nothing like Midway food, Bob.
Oh, gosh. By the way, we have just received a message here that our colleagues over at WTKN are begging for calls, so anybody that wants to call them, our lines are full. That's 390-0057 in Hillsboro and 224, I think it is. I can't hear you.
57, I think. That's a good station. I think they're...
Just,
let me help you. It's Hillsborough County 224-0057, and in Pinellas County 393-0057.
Okay. For they don't have interesting guests over there, but they do have open lines.
You know, I'll tell you what about that station, though. They will cover the excitement spectrum from A to B.
They certainly do. Travis at the USF campus. Travis, you're on the air at 970 WFLA. Yeah.
This is Travis. I'm from USF.
I kind of suspected that much, yeah.
Did you kind of suspect that?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to call and tell you that I just started listening to you this summer. From fraternity brother of mine listened to you religiously, Frank, and we wanted to make first.
What do you mean? He lights candles or something?
Huh?
He lights candles during the show?
Hey, Travis.
Yeah, Lud.
What frat are you with?
It's not a frat.
A fraternity.
Yeah, you wouldn't call your country don't call fraternity a frat because you wouldn't call your country.
Yes, that's true, Travis.
You're killing me with semantics.
Lud, I got a question for you.
Well, let me ask you, what fraternity are you with?
SIGAP.
Y'all got them skull and crossbones.
Yeah, we did.
What does that mean, by the way?
It means danger if you cross our path, I guess.
Oh, boy.
Are you a fraternity man, Blood?
Yes, I am.
What fraternity were you in?
I was an SAE.
An SAE? I thought that's how they graded oil or something.
No. We used to kick your butt all the time.
Not over here, you did.
Well, not over there. It's because you don't have any fraternity.
But I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I didn't realize that the Polk County
cover-up.
Pardon me?
The Martian cover-up, the deal where the government's supposed to cover up all these Martians that are landing. And I want to know if any Martians have ever landed in your house in Plant City.
Yeah, no.
If you showed them your backhoe.
No, I'll tell you what, though. We did have a couple people who came from Uranus.
Did you?
Speaking of Uranus, how you doing?
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Lud, I'm going through the SAE manual here, and I can't find a chapter at the Polk County School of Animal Husbandry.
We're a charter. We were part of the charter group.
I see.
We are a proud tradition. And I'll tell you what, though, one of these days, if you people keep trying, you may just become something someday. Who knows?
Is that right?
Are you a full brother or are you a pledge?
I'm a brother.
That's
I'm
good.
public relations chairman.
You are?
Yeah.
You're the public relations.
Yes, I am.
Ooh, times must be slim at USF. You couldn't lure me out of a burning building, Travis.
I couldn't, Lud?
I don't think anybody could lure you out of a burning building.
I think you enjoy a burning building.
But I'll tell you what,
the rain either, as far
what do your little sisters look like?
They look hot.
They look hot, huh?
Yeah, they're easy, too.
Oh, really?
Just the way you like them.
That's right, hot and easy.
Hot and easy.
Set them on fire.
Set them on fire. They'll be more than happy to come out and look at your backhoe, too.
I'd love to do it. I love them little girls with their little teased hair. Drive me crazy. I show them my tattoo.
Do you?
Sure.
All your tattoos or just one?
I got a couple of them.
Do you?
I got a nativity scene I'll tell you about later.
Do you have like a tattoo on your arm that says rodeo or something?
No, I don't.
No.
Let me ask you something. Does your mother still have her tattoo?
Yes, she does. All of them.
Well, that's good.
She misses you too, Lud.
She's rotten to the core, but wonderful to the infantry.
Well, Lud, I'm going to take off. I got to get back to work. Thanks.
Why don't you go study for a urine test, Travis?
Green Swamp Bill somewhere on the Practical Joke line. Green Swamp, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bob. It was good to hear from you. I'd like to talk to Lud.
Wait a second. I thought you called me.
Well, it did.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Lud. You like to hunt there, buddy? Hunt and fish?
You better believe it.
Well, I tell you what, my old daddy's got about 5,000 acres out here off a hog farm road.
Are you kidding me? You are not kidding me, are you?
No, sir.
I love hog hunting.
It's right out off, right on the border, Osceola and Polk out there.
You got some good dogs?
Yes, sir. The best I've ever seen.
All right.
And when I get off here, I'm going to give you my number. Give the producer my number.
Alrighty.
Let you call me and see what that's all about.
I'd love to do that.
Yes?
Are you kidding?
No, sir, I ain't kidding.
Does the Pope poop in the woods? Come on.
I'm mad he does.
I'll tell you what, I love to fish. Saltwater, particularly.
Doesn't that go as a... Isn't it... I
no,
think
it's
you got
a
that
bear,
mixed up. Is
it's
a bear
Catholic?
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, I'm trying to clean it up,
Yeah. Clean it up.
What type of fishing do you do, Will?
Oh, speck fishing, stuff like that, in the river
I love
up there.
that. You know, I went out, I tried...
Speck fishing? You go fishing on speculation?
No, sir.
Oh.
Lud knows what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Bob.
absolutely.
You ain't never been fishing your life, I don't guess.
He wouldn't know a trout if it bit him on the whatever.
Yeah, he would.
You know, I tried to go snooking a while back, but I couldn't find anything.
Never seen a trout that big.
You know, I hear now that redfish is going to be game fish. I mean, game fish.
What do you mean?
That are reds. They're going to change the law on reds.
No, you can't catch no reds no more. You talking about rednecks or red?
No, red. They're going to change the law so that the commercial people don't mess with it anymore.
Well, I hope so.
Got it under your bed?
Sir?
I'll tell you what, I'm going up in, around December. My buddy and I are going to go up to Arkansas. We're going to do a little duck hunting.
Duck hunting?
Duck hunting.
Oh, man, you don't deer hunt? Hog hunt?
A hog, a deer. You ever do ducks with a Uzi? That is not a pretty sight. Let me tell you something. That is not a pretty sight.
I tried it one time with one of those AR-15s, and that didn't work out too good.
I knew a boy of mine who was a mercenary. He had a claymore. We went out quail hunting with a claymore.
Oh, my.
Well, I'm telling you, ain't much meat left.
What, does Daddy buy off?
But I tell you what, though, it's fun to watch the expression on their face. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're a good old boy, and I appreciate you calling.
All right, and I'm going to leave that number, that producer there.
Well, I'll tell you what, may the good Lord be good to you. May your troubles be small, and if you walk 'em 10 feet tall.
You're a fine man.
You're a good American.
God bless y'all.
God bless you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Frank in Waimama. Frank, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Lud.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
In all the talk, nobody's managed to get much out of you about your personal life. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Well, I was kind of waiting for somebody to do that. But please, Frank, go ahead. Fire away.
Do you read it all?
Yes, I do. I'm very well read.
What's the last book you read?
I read A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. It's a beautiful expose trying to uncover relativity, unified field theory. It goes into Bohrian quantum mechanics. It's an excellent book. I would highly recommend it to you.
You ever go to the movies?
I sure do.
What's your favorite movie?
Raging Bull, probably.
Raging Bull is your favorite movie?
One of my favorite. Last Temptation of Christ, I enjoyed very much.
How about Bambi?
Well, no, I was cried. What's your favorite movie?
How about that one on the skyscraper?
Oh, I'll tell you what, come to think of it, though, Towering Inferno, probably. That was, boy, all that fire. God, that was something else.
Really sent you home with food for thought, huh?
But I'm glad, Bob, we've been sitting here the whole time, and nobody wants to, get to know me.
How many kids do you have?
I have one. I have a boy, Junior. He's 10 years old, a little slow.
I'm a teacher. Is he in the...
Real chip off the old block, yeah?
I'm sorry, Bob interrupted you, sir.
I think, is he in the special classes at school?
Yes, he is. He's in that SLD class.
That's where they've got about 3 students per teacher?
Something like that, yes.
Well, Lud, good listening to you, and give them hell.
Well, I'll tell you what...
And I don't know why you're on with that communist, but you know better than I do.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the way it goes, like I was telling...
I kind of suspect that, too, Frank.
I was telling you, it's amazing.
As a matter of fact, Lud's about the only person I think he could say that about.
I think that Bob is a communist, and I know with all this talk of fire and everything, I know you probably, you're getting the wrong idea about me, but I am a deep person. I'm very well-read, I think.
Is that why you have the boots on, because you're so deep?
Yes, sir.
But just think, if you set Bob on fire, that would be the biggest thing that hit this country since Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Imagine that one.
It would be
a thing to hit this country since Chicago. That's interesting.
I think
large fires, Bob.
I think we need to get probably a couple permits for that one.
At least.
Well, Frank, I wish you the best, pal.
Take care.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye-bye.
God bless you.
Honey, what's this in my coffee?
Oat bran.
Oh, you've been sneaking oat bran in everything. Soup, salads.
It's good for you. Think about cholesterol. How's your toast?
Delicious.
That's new oatmeal goodness bread.
With oat bran?
In a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, oat bran, eaten regularly, may help reduce serum cholesterol. And now, there's a way to help you get oat bran and love it. Oatmeal Goodness Bread.
Okay, the bread's delicious, but
Okay, no oat bran in the jelly.
New Oatmeal Goodness Bread. The goodness of oat bran in a great-tasting bread.
What kind of printing needs does a home builder have?
Oh, all kinds.
And to whom do you go for your printing needs?
Sir Speedy.
Why Sir Speedy?
Oh, I'd say their quality truly is good. They're really creative. They reduce, they blow up, they use colors, they do really anything that you want.
What do you think of first when I say Sir Speedy Printing Centers?
What do I think of first? That they really know how to take care of business.
Sir Speedy Printing Centers. Give them a call and they'll take care of yours.
They've taken care of mine.
At Sears, you get your money's worth and more.
When it comes time to paint your home, you'll want a paint you can trust. Sears Weather Beater and Easy Living Paints. The paints trusted by more homeowners than any other brand. Only from Sears.
The promise that we keep is right above the door. It's satisfaction guaranteed. It's what you're looking for. Sears, your money's worth and a whole lot more.
Here's a tip for travelers. Now you can earn money every time you fly, rent a car, or dine in a restaurant. Just use the Discover card, the card that actually pays you cash for every charge, up to 1% back every year based on your annual purchases. So the next time you... Or, don't forget this sound advice. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
2:44 the time, only 16 minutes away from Lizards. Getting kind of excited about that one, Les?
Oh, God, I can't even stand up, Bob.
I understand Lizards is doing her show on Amendment number 10 from the point of view of the oppressed woman who lives in a world full of evil men who don't make their child support payments.
You know, I've often wondered about her position on, well, I've wondered
missionary,
about
I believe, usually.
Probably, you know, just look right at him. But I've often wondered, she's a very, very chastened woman. She probably was spurned.
I've not seen anybody chase her around here.
Well, I tell you what.
I've seen a couple of people run from her, but I haven't seen anybody chase her.
I have seen many lovely women walk by here, and I don't know which one's Liz, but I guarantee you, when I see her, holy God, Katie, bar the door.
That last one was one of the engineers. Was not a woman.
Oh, sorry.
Just hair's a little bit long. John in Port Tampa. John, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, Lassiter.
John, that John in Port Tampa. How you doing, John?
Yeah, doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Well, that's good. I just wanted to call in and tell you that I'm real damn happy to have a real American on the show here.
Well, look who's coming down the hall.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's Bruce.
Go get your,
down.
That daggum canine creep.
Bruce. There he goes. Sliwa just took him back.
Damn canine creep. Gotta keep that dog locked up. $35,000, right. I'll tell you what, anyway, I wanted to not talk to you because I had the opportunity to talk to a real American Lud.
Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you what.
Probably all that talk about the backhoe that made you call in today, huh?
You know, Port Tampa is the breeding ground for some of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
That's right.
Dick Slater, Hulk Hogan, believe it or not.
We got some real men here in Port Tampa.
Steve Kern is a wonderful breeding ground.
Well, I tell you what, I kind of think that all this wrestling, every time I listen to Lassiter there, he's always trying to make me out like a queer or something. I come from Port Tampa. You can...
Whoa, down.
See what I mean? He keeps telling me that this Bruce is a queer sniffing dog. He's trained. They paid $35,000 for this dog to sniff out queers. And I tell you what, I think he's just got him trained to bark whenever he wants to.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's Bob's dog and if he sniffs queers, Bob must not be able to feed him because it'll bring him to a frothing frenzy.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, well, I tell you what.
You are a good American,
just
sir.
You and Rose, that's all you ever think about is my sexuality.
You are, you seem to be, I've heard you before. You are a very erudite caller yourself. Very, very enlightened.
No, he's a longshoreman. He has nothing to do with the airline industry at all.
You're, enfeebled attempts at humor. I'll tell you what, right now.
Well, I tell you, I've had to put up with them every damn time I call, and I'm always having to, listen to all these innuendos about my sexuality.
You know, I'll tell you what, Bob's so dumb he thought an innuendo was an Italian suppository.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lud, I've enjoyed you every time you called in.
Well, sir, you are again warming the cockles of my heart.
That damn Bruce, he's had it again.
No, that's Bob's last date.
Oh, was that was it, huh?
That was years ago.
How do you stand sitting there next to that limp-wristed left wing radical Lassiter there?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not too bad. I'll be honest with you, I feel sorry for the guy. I came in here absolutely filled with hate, and I despised him. But after having been next to him and looked at him, I pity him. And I feel very sorry for him.
He hasn't tried to show you his trouser trout, has he?
No, he hasn't. You know why? Because he's got the worst case of crotch crickets you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I'll tell you what.
First thing you checked out, huh, Lud?
There's quail bottles all over the place here.
I'll tell you, I think the man's got a secret passion for that Iron Man Mike Sharp myself.
I think so. I think you're absolutely right there.
I think a lights-out match with Mike Sharp there would probably be the thing he'd like to do, you know?
Well, I'll tell you, you got to have lights first before you turn them off, and that would disqualify Bob. But I'll tell you, I certainly appreciate you calling, and I hope that if you are probably like the other millions of people who are listening, why don't you give 97 a call here and ask for me? I'd love to do it. I'd do this job for free. I don't need the money.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, you're certainly barking up the right alley around here.
Well, I firmly stand behind you.
Well, don't stand behind me firm, please.
But unfortunately, your price is too high.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lassiter.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, you finally got a good co-host here, and it's nice to see that you're upgrading the show a little bit.
He's desperate. He wants his ratings, and I tell you what, I think I've probably done more harm by improving the quality of his show. I really should have just, let him bring on some of his other guests, do these half-hearted, pseudo-impassioned speeches about minimum wage and all this other stuff. Did you hear the crap he was talking about yesterday about having politicians bid for their services?
Well, yeah.
I mean, does he think of this at night or what?
John, do you have one of those radios that plays in the shower?
Well, I have one. I sit on the counter there, and it plays.
What, you sit on a radio on the counter, or what?
No, when I'm in the shower, I got it on the counter with all my, my stuff, shaving cream and all that kind of stuff. I set it up there, and I listen to the music in the shower.
What other kind of stuff you take in the shower with you, John?
Well, I got, it was my birthday not too long ago, and I think
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, well, thank you. But, I think a lot of people heard us talk that one day, and, I had a lot of people give me some soap on a rope again.
I'll bet you did, huh?
Dadgum, I told them on the radio once before about that damn soap on a rope. I didn't want it.
Well, you can cut the ropes off.
I'll tell you, it's fun. Me and Mildred sometimes play hide the soap. That's always fun. You ought to try that.
Yeah, well,
try it with your wife. It's a lot of fun.
John's not married.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not married. I'm out there playing the field.
Hey,
John, what do you think of the new fall line?
What fall line?
The clothing line. I mean, are you buying, minis this year, or are you buying below the knees?
Listen here, Lassiter, there you go again with those innuendos. No, I ain't one of those guys, transvestites, dressing up. I'd do that for Halloween maybe, but that's about it.
Hey, John?
Yeah?
Trick or treat. Don Richards standing by with what else?
Don Richards.
WFLA News Brief. Donald.
That 5-alarm fire in Tampa early this morning was set. St. Petersburg about to lose its last chance to lure the White Sox south. St. Petersburg about to lose its last chance to lure the White Sox south, and the president's abandoned efforts to get more military aid for the Contras, at least under present circumstances. Details at 3. Don Richards, News Radio 970, WFLA.
I admire people who have a mission in life. I also feel sorry for them. I once had an elementary school teacher, Miss Cunningham, who vowed that if she taught us only one thing all year, it would be the difference between right and wrong. With that kind of lesson plan, it's a miracle we ever got into long division. The question of right and wrong is with us even in something as non-controversial as a business suit. For years, I've worn Hart, Schaffner, and Mark suits. I buy them at Wolf Brothers, which has the largest selection anywhere, not to mention the kind of alterations that are so critical to good fit. So, does my choice of Hart, Schaffner, and Marks make me right and everyone who looks different wrong? Not at all. A trip to Wolf Brothers will make it clear that there are a lot of ways to be right with Hart, Schaffner, and Marks. Traditional soft-shoulder, double-breasted models, contemporary and classic silhouettes. In short, a suit to fit almost everyone's style. If only, Miss Cunningham, the world had more places like Wolf Brothers, where it's so easy to be right and so hard to go wrong.
We're 40,000 people reaching out to you with the helping hand of good health care.
When it comes to health care, the last thing you want is a hassle. That's why instead of forms and paperwork,
AvMed gives you instant access to Florida's largest private practice health network. Nothing comes between you and more than 2,700 doctors and 79 of the best hospitals in Florida. And AvMed continues to support you after you join with a quality service that has made AvMed the most chosen private practice health plan in Florida. So join us.
We're doctors and nurses and folks behind the scenes, ready to help anytime, anywhere. We're AvMed, we're here to help you.
2:53 the time. Lud, I'll bet, from time to time you find yourself running into a legal hassle or two, right?
Oh, more than you can imagine, Bob.
Well, here, take this crayon and write this number down. 1-976-LAWS. That's 1-976-LAWS. Now, the next time you find yourself, in a legal hassle, the revenuers come by, bust up your still, whatever it might be, call that number. I appreciate, Lud, that a guy like you probably doesn't have a regular attorney, and you don't want to get all dressed up. And as you had pointed out, coming downtown with Merle in the truck, finding a place to park, going round and round and round and round to go into some big fancy lawyer's office is more than you want to get involved in, isn't it, Lud?
Oh, you're right about that, Bob.
Well, you have come to the right place, my friend, because the next time the revenues bust up your still or whatever the problem might be, whatever the problem, I'm talking, Lud, any legal problem. We mean, DUI, criminal, commercial, business, divorce.
That covers it.
Just about covers it. You're right. All you do when you run into the problem, you pick up the phone, you dial 1-976-LAWS. You tell them what that problem is, and within 24 hours or less, and it's almost always less, they will be back on the phone.
But
either the extension out in the barn, or they could even call you at the 7-Eleven store so that, you can keep your business confidential. And the cost, Lud, I'm glad you asked. $25 plus toll, and I think there probably would be a toll from Plant City, if any, and it's billed directly to your phone line.
Now, what if I want a lawyer late at night, let's say?
Call the law line.
What about a weekend?
Call the law line.
What if I'm in jail?
Call the law line. It's the service of Michael Howard Berkins. Back to the phones we go. Tacker in Bel Air. Tacker, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Lud. When you get your radio show, I've got your theme music, Lud.
Hey, Tacker boy, let me hear it.
Set 'em on fire.
I like that. Sounds like Mildred last night.
Sounds a little bit more like when you got hold of one of the chickens.
Yeah, it's like Merle on a Saturday.
I bet it is. Out in the hen house.
It should be Spyro Gyro, dog.
Remember the time Merle accidentally picked up the rooster?
I sure do.
So's the rooster.
I sure do. Boy, this is great. Great radio. Can you imagine somebody just tuning in now, Bob?
Yeah.
Somebody from out of town?
Yeah.
On Dale Mabry Waters?
Yeah, like maybe a big talent scout from the Big Apple or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. How long is he going to play this, Bob?
No longer whatsoever. Joanne in Clearwater. Joanne, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, Lud?
Hello, my coquette.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing real good, too. I'd like to know what you think about the Pinellas Sheriff's race.
What I think about it?
Yeah.
Pinellas Sheriff's race.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think, if you ask, that Everett Rice is going to win, and I think he's a fine man and a fine American.
What a pungent.
I agree with you 100%.
And I think he's be a credit to your county. I don't live in Pinellas County. I've been there before. It's beautiful.
Right.
And I think it's about time that...
Yeah, up around Pinellas Park.
I think that you voters are very lucky to have a man of that integrity.
Oh, yeah, and his experience and qualification is phenomenal, and it'd be silly to vote for the other party. I agree with you 100%.
Vote your conscience and vote often. That's what I always say.
Exactly. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Well, it's not easy to do that anyplace but in Plant City. Chris in Tampa. Chris, you're on the air at 970 WFLA. Chris once. Chris twice. Chris, such is life. Jay in Tampa. Jay, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
My congratulations, Lassiter. This is one of the finest shows I think you've ever had.
Well, probably next to the time that I had Mr. Marbles on, yeah.
I missed that. It must have been quite exhilarating.
I don't know, sir. I think you are.
Maybe the Winslow show.
Sir, I appreciate you saying that. I hope that you would not be being jocular at all. I hope this will be true.
I'm being completely sincere. No humor intended at all, Lud.
Well,
I must
you.
ask you, I hear
Yes, sir.
a Heel accent there. I'm curious. Are you from the Ozarks or around there?
Well, I'm actually born in Pascagoula, but I moved here when I was 2.
Well,
and I've been in Plant City ever since. I consider myself a Floridian.
Well, one way or the other, I'm most impressed by your background, and your interest in Hunter Thompson somewhat bowled me over there. But
yes, sir. Fear and Loathing, Las Vegas. I love the Hells Angels. I read that one. He's one of my favorites.
That might be in there, yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Well, I would have to say you're extraordinary, Lud, and I would hope that you might be in a position where you might occupy our St. Lizard of Misery in the morning. I could much easier wake up with you.
I'll tell you what, I've been here. They promised me. I didn't ask for no money. I didn't ask for a parking space. I didn't ask for anything. All I asked for is I wanted to meet Liz.
I don't know where she is. Maybe she'll be coming down the hall.
There's about 2 minutes to go here, and I'm getting kind of ticked off just a bit.
She's a hot mama. There's no doubt about that.
She is slicker than snot on a doorknob. I'm telling you right now, she melts my butter.
Thank you, Jay. Off we go to Susie in North Tampa. Susie, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Hello,
Susie.
I've been locked in the car with my 2 vomits this afternoon. That's the first chance I've had to call you.
Your 2 vomits?
Children.
Oh.
And I was wondering how you feel about the possible repeal of the second law of thermodynamics.
I don't think anybody could ever possibly repeal it.
How about mandatory litmus testing now?
Well, that's fine as long as you have time to study for it.
I do think, I'll tell you what, though, I think the United States, though, should launch a full court press on trying to find a unified field theory. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I beg your pardon. We seem to be having a hell enough trouble, launching weather satellites.
I'll tell you right now. Now, Bob, where's Liz? Come on now. I hear the music.
Well,
I am ticked off to no end. Damn it.
Let's go to Pat in Tampa. Pat, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Hello.
Yes.
I've never called a talk show before. And I like your program, but I've got a couple of things that I'd like to go over that I don't like about it. I think you're intelligent, but I think you're a little conceited and a little egotistical. And the one thing that really bothers me is when you get into an argument with somebody, you try to shout the person down. And I don't like that. And I don't like using profanity. So if you can change some of those things, I'll continue to listen to it.
I don't care if you continue to listen or not, man. I ain't changing nothing.
No, you're not? Well, then you won't be on long, I'll tell you that right now. You'll be out of there.
Man.
You'll be out of there.
No one has done talk radio in this market longer than I have. Sorry. Let's go to Curtis in Clearwater. Curtis, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Hey.
Yes.
What you doing? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
You want to come over to my house? Having a great party?
Let's go to Mike in Bradenton. Mike, you're on there at 970 WFLA.
Royal Majesty, how you doing tonight? Listen, I want to comment about your act.
How about that on Flight 98 there? What do you think, dude?
How about Flight 98?
No, 800.
800. What do I think? Do you think
No, seriously, what do you
think? I'm in
of that?
favor of airplanes blowing up in the sky and a couple hundred people being killed?
No, seriously, your personal opinion.
Do you think my personal opinion is that I'm in favor of such things?
No, see, I'll tell mine.
Okay, you tell yours.
But what I'm saying is,
I'll show you yours.
Do you hear more than we do because you were in the position to hear more?
No, I'm not in a position to hear more.
Darn it! I was hoping you would. Okay, anyway, but I love you.
No, Ron Cart Richards is a notorious liberal and media manipulator who conceals from all the rest of us on the station the real truth about these stories.
Yeah, that's me, the liberal. But anyway, no, seriously though. But anyway, we wanted to go, right? We're from Plant City 7. Yay, we wanted to go tonight, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, anyway.
To do with the airplane.
Guy, I've been listening to you. I'm so glad that you're back in the Tampa Bay area. It's on unreal. Unreal. Because I am I'm not a practicing Christian. I do believe, I believe in a lot of things I learn. But anyway, to hear you sit there and do all this, you are so comic. I love you, man. I mean, you're great. You're like, well, then what about the dinosaurs? But I mean, literally, I love it. I love it to death. I just wanted to call you up, let you know that I appreciate you very much. Hope you stay in Tampa now for a while. Okay?
Okay. Okay, Carrie.
No, seriously, though.
Yes,
but,
yes,
please stay in Tampa, baby, because you're such a joy to listen to. You don't understand. You really are. And he's going to hang it up. That's how much you're a joy.
well, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, and call us again sometime. 990-WFLA in Hillsborough, 461-WFLA in the other place. Let's go to Greg at a payphone. Greg, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Yeah, how you doing, Bob?
I'm doing great, Greg.
Yeah, I had to go to a payphone. My phone, my batteries are dead at the house, and I listened to you. I didn't catch a lot of your show, but I was sitting there listening when you were speaking of your that you knew in the Bible where it talked about 184 fiction that rose from the dead, right? This is exactly what you said.
No, it's not exactly what I said. I said 180-some thousand. That's
right,
okay.
Well, I understand. You named a number, Bob.
Yeah, 180-some odd thousand, right.
Right. Well, so you're getting it mixed up with Revelation there when...
No, I don't have anything mixed up with Revelation, sir.
Bob,
it's in Matthew 27.
You mentioned 180-some thousand graves are opened and
that's right,
are walking, right?
That's right, sir.
Okay,
it's in Matthew.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. It's in Matthew.
Okay, go back to Matthew 27 and show me in there where it says anything about how many of these people were raised from the dead.
Sir, I'm not familiar with. I only have the New International Version available to me. I have seen it.
You have, Bob, is going to talk. There's no number. No number.
I beg your pardon, but there is. I have seen it.
Well, you see it in Revelation about 180.
No, sir, I've never read Revelations.
Well, it's in the Bible, Bob. But
yeah, I know.
But you mentioned specifically 180-some thousand.
That's right, sir.
Souls were raised from the dead.
That's right, sir.
I apologize to your listeners that you were wrong. That you made a mistake.
No, I didn't make a mistake, sir.
Bob, you mentioned that
That's right, sir.
Matthew says nothing about 180-some thousand.
I beg your pardon, it does.
You're wrong, Bob.
No, I'm not wrong.
Not one version of the Bible says anything.
You have all 200 versions in front of you, sir?
I don't have any versions in front of me. I'm sitting on payphone. But I will bet you anything. If I was a gambling man, I would bet you anything. There was no number of
hedging there.
Being risen from the dead, so you were wrong, Mr. Lassiter.
No, I am not wrong, sir.
Can you find me any version? Matthew 27, where it talks
Sir,
about...
first of all, I don't really give a crap one way or the other.
Right, but you just love to put down Christians and quote the Bible that you don't even believe in, and then when someone gives you tells you that you made a mistake,
sir, if you want to consider it putting down Christians, then you go right ahead.
Well, I'm one of those. Yeah,
However, sir, I am not the one that brought it up. I'm not the one trying to shove down my throat. I'm not the one trying to shove down my throat the historical accuracy of the document.
You're the one who's so self-righteous about when you talk to John there. He should apologize to you, but you should apologize to your listeners because you brought up a number.
That's right, sir.
People that were raised from the dead. And
that's right, sir. I beg your pardon, it is in some versions.
No, it isn't. Not in Matthew. You go to Revelation, it talks about 184,000 Jerusalem Jewish saints that are risen from the dead. But you don't find anywhere in Matthew about any number of saints being raised from the dead, Bob. So why don't you admit you're wrong?
Because I'm not wrong, sir. I've seen it.
Well, you're wrong about Jesus Christ also. You say that there's no history. I mean, we've got histories divided by a man called Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't believe that it's historically accurate today, that you even say that he existed, and yet...
So there is no independent reference whatsoever to the individual.
Well, I mean, our calendar is divided by by Jesus Christ.
So?
What do you mean, so?
Could have been divided by the birth date of a goat.
Yeah, well, what it isn't. It isn't a ghost, it's Jesus Christ.
No, I didn't say a ghost, I said a goat.
Well, a goat.
I said, bah!
Yeah, well, it's not a goat. It's a man, Jesus Christ, who died for your sins, Bob. And you're not going to have a Savior. You mentioned earlier you don't have a Savior, and that's really sad.
I don't have any sins either, sir. You're the one with sins.
Bob, you admitted earlier that you did things that were so you did, didn't you?
Yes, sir, they're not sins.
Okay,
there's no such thing as a sin.
God's a just and holy God, Bob. There's a payment.
No, you're hoping that God's a just and holy God, and for your sake, I hope you're correct.
And he's paid for your sins, Bob. But if you deny him, you don't have to
take your preaching someplace else, for God's sake, if you'll pardon the pun.
Getting it straight from the source.
They say your sins will weigh a ton if you do not ask the Lord to forgive you. Just call on Jesus anytime. That's what a good Christian would say.
25 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. This is really incredibly embarrassing, and I feel very, very bad about having to do this, but I will. Because I think, Catch A in Tampa Bay live tomorrow at McDonald's from 5 until 9. Rock and Ted will be broadcasting live at 38th and 4th Streets in St. Petersburg. Be sure to pick up your free coffee mug while they last. I take out 2 of them. People fight over them. Anyway, as I was about to say, this is incredibly embarrassing that I, a heathen, should have to set you people straight on this, because it's come up a number of times, not only on this show, it comes up every time. That people wish to start pontificating and preaching and shoving their religion down somebody's throat. But I'm sure if you'll think about this for a second, you'll understand that I'm correct. And again, I point out that it's really very, very embarrassing for all of the good Christians out there who love to call up and preach to me on the radio. But you're wrong. Jesus did not die for my sins. Jesus did not die to absolve me of my sins. It was original sin. That's what he died for. To absolve me of original sin. Not for any sins I have committed in my lifetime. You guys just don't read the book very well. Just don't read the book very well at all. And of course, the whole concept of the original sin was rather bizarre anyway. That God, who is the one who put original sin on man's soul, then had to create a son to come down and go through this rather strange crucifixion thing to absolve me of what he had put on me for no good reason whatsoever. But, hate to point that out to you guys, but I thought that I would. Kind of embarrassing, isn't it? So before you people call up and try to preach to me, you might want to read the book, You might want to read the instruction manual of your own religion before you try to tell me how to lead my life and what's going to happen to me and who did what for me and things of that nature. It was original sin. Not the sins that I might have committed this afternoon or that I might commit tomorrow morning. Know what the hell you're talking about. Because I know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Now, aren't you all sitting there with red faces? Damned, he's right! Oh, damned! Yeah, I know. I'm right. Sorry. But like I said, try to read the book first. And then try your damnedest to live up to it before you call me or anybody else and try to tell them to live up to it. When you have accomplished that, then maybe you might have a right to try to tell somebody else. And then maybe you might have a right to try to threaten someone else with the consequences of not living up to the book. Live up to it yourself. And I'll take care of myself. And everybody else will take care of themselves. In essence, mind your own damn business. And know what you're talking about before you start talking about it. Okay? Okay. 990-WFLA in Hillsborough, 990-WFLA. In Pinellas, 461-WFLA, 461-WFLA. Wish I'd thought of that, damn it. The GT Mobile at Starline, 970-STAR. The Delaware Savings toll-free line, 1-800-969-WFLA. So this bimbo calls up the brain yesterday and says, I don't know where he gets off, calling himself the Mad Dog or the Magnificent One. Now you do, honey. 9:34 the time. Our thanks tonight to Mr. Cowhead from the, what is it, the Bubba Radio Network, BRN? Okay. Our thanks to Mr. Cowhead from the BRN located at, what the hell's the address here?
I believe it's 4002 Gandy Boulevard.
At 4002 Gandy Boulevard. It's the ugly, squat little building next to the railroad tracks for providing tonight's feast. God, I've eaten good this week. Because I had the supper, the dinner at Shula's on Saturday. Last night, a burger beyond belief. See this, what is it, Chef Mike, I believe his name is?
Yeah.
Chef Mike from the Klondike Grill.
River Grill.
Klondike River Grill. Wanted to bring me some kind of fancy schmancy, chefy kind of food. And I said, well, that's really nice, but my tastes are relatively, plain and simple. He had some kind of Mongolian carp or something that had flown in that he wanted to cook for me.
Everything's flown in fresh.
Yeah. And so, Flounder said, well, what do you want, a hamburger? And I said, well, yeah, okay, hamburger. That would be great. I like hamburgers. Because it's not really fair. There's, this fancy schmancy food I don't like. So this guy makes me a hamburger last night. Like you wouldn't believe.
That wasn't a hamburger. That was like beefalo or something out like that.
Oh, God, it was good. Whatever it was really, really super good. And then today I had this unbelievable lunch at this restaurant I didn't even know existed, that I never hear anybody even talking about. Well, that's probably because rich people don't call talk radio. That's why I never heard anybody talking about it. $54 for lunch. For two. I had lunch with Ross Reback, and before the check came, I said, look, Ross, I would be deeply offended if we haggle over the check. I want to pay for this, because he had done a lot of things for me, and he won't take any money from me. So, and he said, well, actually what he said to me is, well, look, before you go and say this, at least it's deductible for me. It's not deductible for you. And I do admit to spending about 3 seconds thinking about that. And I said, no. And $54 for lunch. God. But God, I've eaten good. Let's go to Dave in Sarasota. Dave, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Good evening, Bob.
Good evening, Dave.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I had a great lunch.
Great. Got to tell you, I love your show.
Thank you, man.
Started listening to you up in Chicago on WLS when you were up there.
Oh, okay.
Never thought I'd get to hear your voice again. And then I moved down here. The reason I'm calling tonight is while you were up there in Chicago, I recall one evening an older lady called and gave you irrefutable proof that God existed.
What was that?
The Bird Lady. Do you remember the Bird Lady?
No.
You were having basically the same show that you're having tonight, and she called, and you walked around the line for about 20 minutes while she continued to insist that one could hear God through the voices of birds.
Oh, my God, yes, I do. Oh, that was early in Chicago, because we were still in the old studio. Yes, I do now remember that.
That was probably my favorite show.
The Bird Lady, yes.
The Bird Lady. I just wanted to call and admonish.
I wish I could remember more detail about it, or I wish you could remember more detail about it, because it was a classic type of call.
Oh, it was great.
And how I had forgotten it, I'll never know, but I just remember that it happened. I can't remember details, because it was a classic.
She was, she sounded like she must have been about 95.
Yeah, it was relatively early on, before they had totally caught on to me in Chicago, and we still used to get people like that wandering in from time to time. And it was just beautiful, beautiful.
Really, that show, I think the night that you interviewed Rush Limbaugh and he hung up on you.
I'd Rush on several times.
This must have been the first time. I think he suggested that maybe you get your own national show, and then he was very, very short with you, and that was the end of it.
I don't remember him hanging up on me, because Rush and I are kind of friends.
Well, I don't know that he necessarily hung up on you, but he just kind of said, well, I got to go, and that was the end of the conversation.
Oh, okay.
And then I also recall the night that you mocked Ed Till. You remember that night?
Oh, yes.
You had a show where he got calls from all of his fellow hosts on WLUP, all calling and begging him to stay in Chicago. And you opened your show with calls from all the Chicago celebrities begging you to stay.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude.
Hey, I did. Thanks.
Okay,
Bob.
be good. Of course, nobody knows what he's talking about, but that's all right. tell you the truth, I'd forgotten most of those shows. He brought back good memories to me. If they didn't bring back good memories to you, hey, I can't be responsible for every call. I was enjoying it. I'd forgotten all of those stunts. See, it was when I went to Chicago, I was able to go back and reuse or reinvent virtually everything I had ever done in, the previous years doing talk, all those years, because none of those people had ever heard it before. And especially in the early days, the people hadn't caught on yet. Like the poor old bird lady that he was talking about. They just didn't quite understand what they were getting involved in and would call me up in a vain attempt to try to straighten me out or whatever it might have been. And there was some interesting stuff. It's too bad that we can't play you tapes of it.
Step into your future with Radio Career Link.
Radio Career Link. Apply for Tampa-based top employers right over the phone, like MCI, Little Caesars, Beneficial Corp. Radio Career Link. Apply by phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for an easy...
Radio 970
You can hear Bruce Williams weeknights 10 to 1 right here at News Radio 970 WFLA. Would you think we're going to tell you it's on some other station? Of course not. What a silly-ass thing to say. Excuse me. Just one more quick Chicago story. When I went to Chicago, I had, something like a half a dozen years of doing talk shows under my belt. And some of them were good, and some of them worked, and some of them didn't. And, so what the hell? I'm in a new town with a new audience. Why not recycle material? It's a smart thing to do. Well, there was one little piece of shtick that I used to use here that was very, very successful for me. It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, and yet there were some people who would never understand, and they would call up and get all bent out of shape, and we had a lot of fun with it. The brain-damaged snowbirds. Well, you can't really use brain-damaged snowbirds in Chicago. They don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? But I sat down one day and I thought, well, how can I possibly take this good material, this good shtick, and, turn it into Chicago kind of stuff? And where I came up with this, I do not know. But it caused me more problem than any other topic I have ever, anywhere brought up. I mean, bashing the church, bashing this, bashing that, telling people their mothers are whores. Nothing compared to the hate that this particular topic brought up. I went in one day, and I'd finally discovered a way to take all of this brain-damaged snowbird material and use it again, recycle it, and it was the brain-damaged lawn heads. And I've launched into this tirade about how people who live in the suburbs are really stupid because they spend all their time, in the summer cutting grass, in the fall raking leaves, in the winter shoveling snow, and on top of that, how hopelessly irresponsible and selfish they were because people who lived in the city made much more efficient use of the earth. And I cited as an example that I lived in a 50-story building, and my apartment was 1,500 square feet. And every apartment on the floors below me and the floors above me were exactly the same, so that, 50 families lived in 1,500 square feet, and that we were just, vastly superior people. And the people in the burbs went bonkers. They, of course, demanded my immediate demise and that I be fired and thrown into the gutter and spit upon. And to the day I left, they never forgave me for it. Months and months and months after this happened, they would still get letters and hate calls at the station, all because of the brain-damaged lawn heads. I'm sorry, he brought back memories. Let's go to Kevin in Tampa. Hi, Kevin. You're on the air, 970 WFLA.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, Kevin.
I'm a little bit nervous here. It's my first time on your show. I'm really honored to be on your show. I don't mean that in a kiss butt type of way, but I mean...
Oh, it's okay to kiss my butt. It's no problem. I enjoy it.
I just wanted to try to make a couple points about the way people get so defensive when their religion is called into question. I don't know if it's appropriate sometimes to read things, so I won't go sit here and read paragraphs, but I was looking, it just came to my mind when I was listening to some of these calls that were coming in. It's in a book about the Man and His Symbols, Carl Jung, and it's in a chapter called The Process of Individuation, written by L. von Franz. There's one sentence that reads here, by the way, they're discussing the shadow, which is conscious, but you don't want to deal with them, so you just kind of hide them away. And it says, if you feel an overwhelming rage coming up in you when a friend reproaches you about a fault, you can be fairly sure that at this point you will find a part of your shadow of which you are unconscious. And I think that is the case a lot of times with people with religion, because we have very advanced technology, very many advances we've made throughout the past couple thousand years since a lot of these religions formed, and it's hard to sometimes incorporate them within the new paradigms, the new conceptual systems of the modern era. And so it's a lot easier sometimes to suppress these things, and then they kind of come barreling out. They kind of fall flat on their face when under scrutiny.
Well, there is a reason why shows like this happen. Most human beings are very, very insecure. They're not sure about whether or not they believe the right things, or say the right things, or dress the right way, or talk the right way, or dance the right way, and they need to see other people doing the same thing that they do to reassure them that whatever decision they have decided upon, whatever belief they have decided to believe, or hairdo they've decided to have, whatever it might be, if they see other people doing it, then they are sure that they've made the right decision. And when they encounter, no, I don't comb my hair that way, or I don't believe that way, or I don't dance that way, it is a major threat. And that is why people come out of the box the way they do whenever a conversation like this comes up. Do you think those people really give a crap about whether I am saved and my soul goes to heaven or to hell? Of course not.
They're just trying to protect their own security.
Exactly. They don't want me
You know what I
to talk about my beliefs because they're different than theirs, and it challenges theirs.
All right.
It's good, but it does.
You begin to learn so much more, but then you begin to realize just how much you don't know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, there's another thing with religion, too. Let's just take attendance at church as an example. There are primarily two reasons why church exists. The first of all is, the guys who are in the church business, they need you to show up at a particular time so that you can leave some money behind. So they, came up with this concept of church, but everybody that goes to church knows that. They're very well aware of this, and yet they continue to go. Well, they go because it affords them the opportunity to sit in the room with 300, 400, 500, or if it's a really big church, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 people who appear to all believe the same thing they believe. And so once a week they get this in their arms. I must be right. Look at all those other people. And in the meanwhile, of course, they're passing the basket. So that works out good for both sides.
Like yourself.
WFLA in Hillsborough, 461 WFLA.
News.
The flight data and...
Inside of your one-horse town.
9:53 the time. Let's go to Chuck in Tampa. Hi, Chuck. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Chucky.
Well, in the immortal words of Mighty Python, now for something totally different.
Okay.
Earlier today, I was listening to Rush. I won't explain how that happened. We all make mistakes. But anyhow, right? I'm sitting there, and Rush is trying to understand why there's such a gender gap between women and men as far as the following between Bill Clinton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't I'm sitting there.
It's Dole's own fault.
Excuse me?
It's Dole's own fault.
Well, I don't know if
it's those pictures that they released this week of him on the treadmill in his shorts. Who in the hell would vote for a guy? I mean, Clinton's legs aren't any prize winners, but who in the hell would vote for a guy that had such spindly, elderly legs? No way.
People who voted for Daddy Reagan.
Yeah. But, even Reagan had better legs.
Maybe so. But I'm sitting there and I'm screaming back at the radio. When it comes to women, Clinton has outperformed most presidents in this regard. Well, as far as work ethic's concerned, since he's been in office, right? I just wrote down a few of these things, right?
Yeah.
We've had our first vice admiral, female. She's in charge of education and training of the Navy. We've had our first female 3-star general, which is like one step below the top rank, which is a 4-star, right? and she's in charge of reserve affairs and operations at
Oh, you
Washington.
got to be kidding. You don't think that's the reason, do you, really?
Well, I'm saying these are some of the things that Clinton has done. Of course, this is with the Republican Congress who has to authorize.
There really is a reason, and the reason is that for all of his shortcomings, for all of his flaws, Clinton appears to be more of a human being. Where the stuffed shirt, who's probably a very decent man. I know he's a decent man. I shouldn't say probably. I know that Bob Dole is a decent man.
I'm sure of it, too.
Still comes across as a stuffed shirt and a plastic kind of guy, where Clinton, I can relate to him a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought about that too, right? But I really am not ready to subscribe to this ideal that I think a lot of the media has, a lot of people, that America goes on first opinions only when it comes to choosing their president. And I really think that women, they say that women are tough car buyers. I don't know if this is true, because they're more thrifty with their money. But I would assume that this kind of would follow through. I mean, if they're so interested in this Clinton guy, I got to figure there must be something. And all I could come up with is all these advances that women have made. The first female Surgeon General, even though that kind of flopped, it was there. Janet Reno, first, she was the first one in that position. There are a lot of firsts that Clinton has had in his administration, and I think maybe that's what they're looking at.
I don't know. I doubt it very much, to tell you. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I just I doubt that very much. I think it's more of a he ain't perfect, that's for sure, but he's somehow more identifiable, somehow more believable. More trustworthy. You talk about the trust factor.
Right.
I trust people who look like me, and who act like me. They're the ones I trust the most because I can identify with them. Someone who comes across as being absolutely perfect. I've never failed in my entire life. I am a perfect individual, a little stuffed shirt perchance, but I tend to say, well, this guy's too good to be true. Where this other guy is such a God, I almost used a word I shouldn't use. This other guy is such a mess up. He's probably telling me the truth.
Maybe, but I don't think Dole. I've never seen Dole come across like perfect in my book. I mean, after all, after that fiasco with the cigarette smoking incident, saying that cigarette smoke is not addictive.
No, you're missing my point. Bob Dole never admitted to any failures in his life. He never had any flaws. He never had any disappointments. He never was kicked in the teeth. He never cried over.
I mean, look at that hand. Look how he had to deal with that. With his hand.
Somebody else. No, someone else did that.
More than one occasion.
Somebody else did that to him. Someone else did that to him.
Yes, but he could have very easily has said, forget it, sat on his butt, collected a government pension, got himself a job working in a post office, and lived a happy life without the aggravation and everybody peeking into his business. But still, something inside, the fire in his belly, decided he wanted to move forward, and he got involved in public office. And then he ran for president on more than one occasion, and he still lost, and yet he still wants to come back and fight for this position, even knowing what the kind of ridicule that you can get from it. I don't know, I mean, and Bob Dole is not like a lot of people who sit there and say, well, he's so conservative, right? Many times he's gone to the other side of the aisle to get things passed that he thought we needed in this country. Food stamps. I wish I had stuff here. I'd go through it right down the list.
I think food stamps came a little bit before Bob Dole. I believe they were in the 1950s, and Bob Dole is 1960s.
Well, all I can say is I heard him when he was retiring from the Senate. He was going through this speech. Now, of course, this is his spin on things, and he was saying this and this and this. And I found a lot of programs there. I thought, well, this is great. This is cool. Okay, I could deal with this.
Oh, good. Vote for Bob Dole.
I'm just telling
It'll
you.
make you happy.
Well,
it's okay with me.
Well,
you can still listen.
I wanted to call up and vent my voice is because everybody. I mean, I can't believe Rush can't see why women would want to vote for. I mean, that's one thing about Rush that I just kind of irks the heck out of me. Right? Is he's got eyes and he can see and he's not stupid by any means. Right? Rush Limbaugh's got a keen eye for the political environment.
Yeah, but guess what?
What?
I don't have any more time. Show's over.
All day, all night. Tampa Bay's only 24-hour traffic station. Depend on it.
The evening to your weekend just around the corner for some of us. April 24th, 1987. Lassiter with you until 11, as I am every Monday through Friday, right here at News Talk 57 WPLP, and of course every 4th or 5th Saturday. And guess what? Next Saturday, not tomorrow, but the Saturday after that, happens to be a 4th or 5th Saturday, so we shall be with you from 9 in the morning until noon, and that should be exciting, because that means we will be doing the program with the best 4 hours of sleep under our little belts, and it should be quite a raucous affair. I feel certain it will offend the FCC and probably a lot of other people, too, but that's what you get when you bring a guy back in with 4 hours of sleep to do a talk show. In any event, we're going to be open tonight right on through to the 11 o'clock hour. A handful of things, nothing terribly traumatic that I want to bring to your attention. One thing I do want to bring up, and I'm not going to belabor this point, but for the benefit of those who did not hear the 10 o'clock hour last night, a very brief explanation of what I have gotten myself into, if you will. Yesterday evening, right before I went on the air, right before I left the house, actually, I received a call from a friend, Neil Rogers at WINZ in Miami, to tell me about a campaign that he has started, and he invited me to join in on it. So Neil Rogers at WINZ, Jerry Williams at WRKO, and myself, Bob Lassiter, here at good old Tampa Bay, WPLP, are asking people to enter a campaign that is being called SOFAR, S-O-F-A-R, Save Our First Amendment Rights, to petition the Federal Communications Commission to rescind its shotgun ruling of April 1987. And what we are asking you to do is to send in a self-addressed stamped envelope, a legal-size stamped envelope, self-addressed, and you shall receive by return mail a petition with a place on it for 25 names asking the Federal Communications Commission to rescind its order concerning indecent radio. The primary reason behind this is no one is in favor of indecent radio. I'm more than aware of that. But the Commission has failed to tell us what indecent radio is, and it is obviously a scare tactic. It is obviously a very broad brush intended on the part of a handful of people to intimidate the industry. It is a clear-cut case of an abuse of the First Amendment in this nation. It is aimed primarily at Pacifica Broadcasting and Howard Stern. Howard Stern is a disc jockey in the New York area who is also syndicated in the Philadelphia area. Howard Stern talks to, over the course of any given week, well in excess of 1 million people. 1 million different people. His share in some areas is up to 30%. In other words, 30% of the audience listens to this man in some areas. The Federal Communications Commission, upon receiving a whopping total of 69 complaints against Howard Stern, all of them from an organized group, has come down hard and heavy. I don't think it's right. I should think that anyone who listens to talk radio shouldn't think it's right. And if you don't think it affects you, then I have some rather interesting information for you. Joining me in studio tonight for just a very few minutes is the executive producer here at WPLP, Joyce Bender. It is not my style to bring in my executive producer to kill a couple of minutes at the start of the show while I desperately wait for phone calls, as is the style of some people in this town. We won't mention any names, Hack. But I've brought Joyce in because she informed me of something shortly before going on the program, and it is mildly complicated, and I wanted to make darn sure that I didn't get anything backwards. I'd called Joyce earlier today from home and asked her to line up for me next Wednesday or Thursday night a representative from the Federal Communications Commission so that we could go over with the Commission exactly what the problem is, precisely what it is that they have in mind. And I set Joyce on to the task of getting a guest from the FCC. Joyce, I'll let you pick it up from there. What happened?
Well, I called our local FCC office, and they told me that they don't handle those kind of things at all, that they're mainly just a monitoring system, and they aren't briefed in those matters, and...
So they don't know nothing. It's not their job.
That's right. They don't do that.
Okay, what next?
So they gave me an office to call in Washington, the FCC Broadcast Bureau, they called it, and I called up the Mass Media Bureau, which they directed me to. I was supposed to speak to someone called Donna Searcy there. And when I did that, they sent me down to Field Operations Bureau, who sent me back to the Mass Media Bureau, who sent me to the general counsel's office, and then they sent me to someone called John Kemp of Public Affairs.
This is all on our dime, of course.
Of course, yes. So when I spoke finally to the Public Affairs office, they then told me I should go to the Mass Media Bureau again. So I finally found someone in the News Media Bureau, which I guess is some part of the Mass Media Bureau. I sort of lost track along my 7th or 8th time around.
I think we can all understand why.
Okay. Well, anyway, I spoke to someone there, and she said, well, you'll have to speak with Sally Lawrence, and she's the chief of the news media. That's what they said. Well, she did call me back, in essence. She said to me that they didn't want to get involved in those talk shows.
Well, what? They don't want to what?
They don't want to get involved in those talk shows, Bob.
They don't want to get involved in those talk shows. What do they mean by that?
Well, I didn't ask her what she meant by those talk shows, but she did elaborate on it a little bit. She said after the ruling came down on Friday, they were inundated with calls, and they just didn't want to get involved in it because...
Well, now, wait a second. They've put out this shotgun ruling, haven't explained what it means, and they don't want to get involved in it?
Well, she said to me that they're not looking to inhibit free speech at all.
Mm-hmm.
And what...
Or to promote it, apparently.
Well, I can't speak for Sally, Bob, but Ms. Sally Lawrence did say that they're receiving a lot of criticism on the issue, and they said it's new and...
They received more than 69 complaints, did she say?
I didn't get a chance to ask her that, Bob. She was rather hurried about it, but she did...
Strange number, too.
She did tell me that it's more flexible, these new rulings. They're more flexible, and it's up to the local broadcaster because the local broadcaster knows his audience better than anybody else, and they don't want to get involved in those talk shows because something they said or they would say on one of the shows might be held against them.
No, wait a second. Let me see if I have this correct. It is up to the local broadcaster because he knows his audience what is decent and what is indecent.
Well, she said to me, they know their audience, and she said, after all, you have Arbitron ratings and things like that help you to know your audience.
In other words, would help us to know whether or not we have children listening.
Well, she did mention that child issue.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's really interesting because I can't think of a talk station in this country that has any significant ratings, and most of them actually have 0 ratings in the 12 to 17 bracket.
Well,
so I guess we can therefore assume that we have no children listening whatsoever, and we can sit here and scream the F word.
Well, gee, I don't know about that, Bob, but she did make that issue when children are in the audience, is what she said. So you have to use your discretion and your good judgment as a broadcaster, I'm to assume, Bob, in case there might be children in the audience. But she did...
Do you think we could do what Mr. Rogers does in reverse, and instead of asking all the parents to leave the room, ask all the children to leave the room, and then we can talk dirty?
Well, I don't know. She said that maybe when this whole thing settles down, she'll be available to talk with us, and she will be sending us a copy of the recent ruling, and she will be sending us some of the letters or the complaint type issues that involved the Howard Stern issue. There were 3 radio stations she cited, and she said she's going to be sending that along, and we'll be waiting with bated breath to receive that.
But they won't talk to us.
No, not now. No, they won't talk.
Is one of the reasons they won't talk to us because they're afraid of what they might say? Was there not some indication that they
Well, the indication was, as I understand it, Bob, was that they're in essence, I guess, afraid that if they say something in Tampa Bay that might be applicable to our situation and our audience, that people are going to construe that to all parts of the nation.
In other words, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're afraid of saying something and being held to it by someone in Santa Barbara, as an example.
I don't know. She seemed to say that it was whatever the market will allow. That's the indication I got from her when I spoke with her this afternoon.
All right, Joyce, I thank you very much for that. I thank you very, very much. This is the situation. The Federal Communications won't talk about it. Federal Communications Commission will not talk about it. And they have acted on an incredibly small number of complaints. concerning quote-unquote indecent radio, but yet aren't awfully clear as to what indecent radio is. It's one of those things that they say, well, we'll know it when we hear it. Well, that simply is not good enough. It simply is not good enough. And so we are asking you to get off your duff, because a handful of prudish, fundamentalist, right-wing reactionaries have pressured the Federal Communications Commission into coming down hard and heavy on a handful of radio stations in this country, for the time being a handful of radio stations in this country. And if you don't like that, and I hope that you don't, we're going to ask you to do something about it. You always want to know, what can I do? Well, this is what you can do. You can invest 44 cents and send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. We shall get back to you by return mail a petition with room on it for 25 names. We ask you to get it filled out and to return it to us no later than the 4th of July, actually somewhat before then, because we wish to present the Federal Communications Commission on the 4th of July with hopefully a couple of 100,000 names. Now, I'm not expecting a couple of 100,000 people in Tampa Bay, but between Miami, Tampa, and Boston, it is a realistic number. And if free speech means anything to you whatsoever, anything whatsoever, then I would hope that you'll take the time to write down this address. Address it to SOFAR, S-O-F-A-R. Post Office Box 48579, 48579. St. Petersburg, 33743, 33743. I promise not to belabor this matter. I'm not going to. I'll let it go at that. If you'll let me give you the address one more time. SOFAR, P.O. Box 48579, St. Petersburg, 33743.
The phone numbers that put you on the air at WPLP are in Hillsborough County, 224-0057, in Pinellas County, 393-0057, and anywhere else toll-free, 1-800.
Today gave you, the citizens of the greater Tampa Bay area, the opportunity to vote on the name of this marvelous new domed facility that they're building. They selected two names and are allowing you to choose between the two. They're just so democratic there in St. Petersburg. The first name that you get a chance to choose is the Florida Suncoast Dome. Oh, that's real catchy, and if you like that, you're really going to love the second one. It is simply the Suncoast Dome. Now, your two choices are Florida Suncoast Dome and Suncoast Dome. I, however, have a third possibility. Now, they have given out 900 numbers where you can pay 50 cents to cast your vote for what's called the dome. We do not have a 900 number here. As a matter of fact, it doesn't cost you anything. But I have suggested the Honey Pot Dome. Unfortunately, I'm afraid a lot of you don't know what a honey pot is. And in view of the FCC's recent ruling, I would be hard-pressed to explain to you what a honey pot is. But nonetheless, if you like Honey Pot Dome, we'll be delighted to take your calls here at News Talk 57 WPLP. Tabulate the vote and forward it to the great city fathers. Flash, by the way, this just handed to me from the WPLP newsroom. No one has died in custody of the Tampa Police Department so far today. Well, that's news. One additional thing I wanted to pass along. While dialing around today, I heard a telephone call. It was a familiar voice, one that I've heard on this station and hung up on a number of times. Just a sad, pathetic creature, and he asked a question. He said, "Why do some people hate fundamentalist Christians?" Well, allow me to attempt to answer that. Could it be that they're so intolerant? Could it be that they're so narrow-minded? Could it be that they're in favor of things like censorship? Could it be that they're so arrogant and self-righteous? Could it be the know-it-all attitude? Could it possibly be because fundamentalist Christians tend to live in a dream world? Or could it be that they tend to be a tad hypocritical? Now, perhaps you would like to answer this burning question. If so, be my guest. The question is, why do some people hate
fundamentalist Christians. Between you and me, I frankly think they need to hear why it is that some people are so upset with fundamentalist Christians. Also, one final thing before we go to the telephones. I have made stars out of some callers in the year and a half that I've been here. I have literally made stars. I'm talking about people like Rocky, the rock and roll Klansman, or Southside Johnny, or Mr. Brevity, or the Brandon Brain Lady. But we're always looking for new stars. And if you would like to be a new star of talk radio, we'll be holding open auditions all night tonight. If you think you too could become one of the great characters of Tampa Bay talk radio, it's up to you. Open auditions all night. One line open, it's in Hillsborough, 224-0057, St. Petersburg. Hi, you're on there at WPLP.
Yeah, I'd like to know who told you that this FCC ruling violates your First Amendment rights.
Nobody had to tell me, sir. I'm not one of those people that has to be told what to think.
Well, this is interesting because this ruling not only doesn't it violate your First Amendment rights.
Oh, I beg your pardon. It quite does.
Well, the reason why it doesn't is
what does the First Amendment?
What
does the First Amendment protect?
The reason why.
What does the First Amendment protect?
Free speech.
No, unpopular speech.
Well,
that's what it protects, and the only exception to it is speech that damages or hurts another individual.
However, okay, you don't have free speech because you don't have the right to broadcast at all because you've been granted the privilege to broadcast.
No, I haven't, sir. No, sir.
License.
No, I don't have an FCC license, sir.
Oh, your station doesn't?
No, the station does, but I don't.
You see, you can go out and buy a newspaper or publishing rights or stand on a soapbox and have your First Amendment rights.
Yes, you also buy an FCC license, sir.
Yeah, that's granted to you.
No, sir, you buy it. No, you're quite wrong. It is not granted. It is purchased.
It is purchased, but according to your disclaimer every year, you are granted the license to...
No, you're granted a renewal. You're granted a renewal. The original license, the original construction permit is purchased from the government.
The fact remains, we're not dealing with a private newspaper. We're dealing with something that no one can own.
Yes, we're dealing with the public airwaves. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. And 69 people in a metropolitan area of 8 million in Philadelphia and a metropolitan area of close to 20 million in New York, 69 people have dictated what will be heard by over 10% of the country. Yes, sir, they are public airwaves. I quite agree with you. They are public airwaves. And 69 fanatics, 69 prudes have strong-armed the Federal Communications Commission into coming out with a form of censorship.
We've got government commissions that act upon complaints.
Oh, really?
Glad. That's good.
16. I'm hard pressed. I'm hard pressed.
Like you.
I'm hard pressed, sir, to think about. Well, for example, how about if 69 people complained about sending money to Nicaragua?
But you'd have to prove that that's in violation of the law. What's wrong with that? Who are they going to complain to?
Oh, sir. There was no violation of the law in the case of Howard Stern. He hasn't been indicted for anything. He hasn't been arrested for anything. He's just been told arbitrarily that if in the future he does it, he'll be in major trouble.
That's right.
So he's not in the violation of any law, sir, because no law exists. It is a ruling. It is an opinion.
Is that since no one owns the airwaves, it's up to the government to police them. It is up to the government, the Congress, the representatives of the people.
Well, sir, you're forgetting,
what shall go over
sir, you're forgetting a very major point, and we will not continue the discussion until you come back and address this point. Free speech is protected under the First Amendment of this country. Free speech under the First Amendment is what is unpopular. It gives you the right to say what is unpopular.
You have the right to say anything
unless it hurts somebody. Sir, tell me, sir, what saying weenie, or who, by my saying weenie, in referring to the male member, tell me who that damages, sir. Tell me who that hurts.
That's a moot point.
No, it's not a moot point, sir. We're talking about a First Amendment right in this country. It is not a moot point. You tell me who it hurts. You tell me who it hurts. I mean, I don't care how much of a prude you are and how offensive you find it. It doesn't hurt or damage you. And you have the right, sir, to go over and turn it off.
And you have the right to say anything you please, but not over the public airwaves. You want to get a soapbox? Get a soapbox. You want to buy a newspaper? Buy a newspaper.
Oh, in other words, because you don't like something, I can't say it. Is that what you're telling me, sir?
I have the right to complain to the FCC.
I hope the rest of you are listening to this conversation. Shut up! I said, I hope the rest of you are listening to this conversation and are getting out your envelopes now, your self-addressed stamped envelopes, because this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with, all right?
Yeah, we're dealing with a prude who doesn't like it.
You think you own the airwaves.
Who doesn't even hear it.
You think you own
it doesn't even involve the Tampa Bay area. You don't even have to hear it. As you've already told me, you've never even heard Howard Stern.
I own the airwaves just as much as you or anybody else does.
You got it, fella. They are public airwaves, and 69 people like you are not going to control them.
Okay, friend? You better mind your P's and Q's, pal.
Oh, is that a threat?
Yeah.
Oh, how's that, sir?
Because I have to straighten out one of your other comments saying that the 200 complaints the FCC got about you was because you were running down the president. Wrong. They got complaints because of you openly advocating discrimination against religious groups based upon their religious beliefs. Why? Because I wrote some of them, pal.
Oh, really? What's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you my name.
Oh, why not, coward?
Too bad.
Why not, coward? You're the man that advocates a third-party boycott, which is a federal offense.
That's why, because
You're the man who has advocated a third-party boycott. Shut up! You're the man who has advocated a third-party boycott, which is a public offense, or a federal offense, excuse me. I'm not in the least bit surprised you would want to give us your name.
Oh, why don't you go ahead and cite me the law, then?
Not up to
Boycotting is
me.
a federal offense.
A third-party boycott is.
This is great. Listen to this. Mr. First Amendment here, Mr. Freedom. Boycottings are illegal. What else should be illegal, Bob?
Oh, no, sir. I didn't say, sir, jerk. I didn't say boycotting is illegal. Third-party boycotting is illegal.
Where does it, well, tell me, where's the law that says so?
You'll find out if we ever find out who you are.
Oh, really? That's another muley threat.
Well, then why don't you give us your name?
I'm not going to give, because I've received threats from you and your station already.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Cite
Physical
them.
threats.
Physical threats from me and my station.
That's right.
Oh, you're just a hopeless liar, and you call yourself a
Want me to tell you
Christian?
the people who threaten me? You
Yeah.
want me to give you their names?
Yeah.
Let's see. One is named Johnson.
Johnson,
The other
huh?
one, yeah, that's his last name.
Uh-huh.
And the other one's name is Connolly.
Uh-huh.
How do you like that, pal?
Well, why don't you file charges since you've made accusations?
Why? I don't need to.
Oh, you don't need to?
No, because I know they don't know who I am.
Oh.
I'm going to keep it that
Yeah,
way.
we know who you are. You're a blatant liar.
Yeah, I'm a liar.
That's right.
I'm a liar. Yeah.
You're a liar unless and until you back up the accusations.
Well,
you are a liar.
The party's over, pal, and you're going to have to start minding your P's and Q's.
Oh, really?
Respect the other people in this country who also own the public airways.
Uh-huh.
The public airways, not your little private party line.
Uh-huh.
If you want to have your little private party line, go buy yourself a cable show.
Really?
You liberal geeks were crying about Playboy on cable, and all you liberals were saying, well, it's not like it's being broadcast.
Uh-huh.
Now that obscenities are being broadcast, all you liberals wimp out and want to change the...
Oh, you want to talk about wimps? You're the wimp, baby.
Yeah.
You're the wimp. You're the wimp who sits there anonymously making accusations that you can't back up. You're the wimp who sits there violating the federal law of this nation and won't come forward. That's right, a third-party boycott's a violation of a federal law.
Pocket, pal. I don't have no license in my pocket.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it, baby.
Just stop being a little more responsible with yours.
Oh, really? I don't have one. I already told you that.
Well, your station,
I don't need one.
You know what I mean. Your station. You better stop minding your P's and Q's.
Well, why don't you come forward and file a formal complaint so we can get your name? Because you know what happens when we get your name, punk?
That.
You go to jail.
I go to jail.
That's
really.
right.
Yes.
Because you have advocated a third-party boycott. You see, little boy, you are so stupid. You don't quite understand what the law is.
Yeah,
if you want to boycott WP, if you'll shut up a second, jerk, I'll explain it to you. If you would like to boycott WPLP, that's perfectly fine. That is well within your legal rights. But when you suggest that people boycott the sponsors of WPLP, then you have committed a third-party boycott.
Yeah, and I need you to tell me what statute that is, and where does it say it?
You'll find out, little boy.
Well, that's interesting, since the civil rights movements of the early 60s. That was done in quite a few times.
And guess what?
What?
We just put a tap on this call. We now know who you are.
Good.
Bye-bye, little boy.
To join in the conversation, the number to call in Hillsborough County is 224-0057. In Pinellas County, 393-0057. And anywhere else in Florida, 1-800-334-0057.
Of modern-day electronics. I wonder if the name Thomas Stratford means anything to our last caller. St. Petersburg, you're on the air at WPLP. Hi, you're on the air at WPLP.
Yes, Mr. Lassiter?
Yes, sir.
This is my first time calling, and I'd like to touch on the issue of the Christian situation that you brought up. I think that a lot of this pressure that they're putting on us, including the FCC ruling, is basically our own fault. I think that a lot of people out there like myself believe in live and let live type situation. I'm not a church-going person or anything like that, but I've always believed in, you do your thing and I do mine. But it seems to me that they're getting organized, or have been organized,